Turnkey Hospitals provider have successfully built Ghana's first e-smart hospital in the leafy suburbs of East Cantonment. This hospital will transform the way hospitals will be built in Ghana for the future. Key structural components of the Bank Hospital include the main clinical building, the hospital, and the ancillary block, which is the administrative building, serviced with parking spaces for staff and visitors. The Bank Hospital has 2 security gatehouses. Contributing to the successful running of operations will be the waste management treatment plant, the energy farm, housing 2 800 kVA generators and a 1600 kVA transformer. The Bank Hospital has over 70 admittable beds throughout the building, offering first-class service to all patients, which include an ambulance service and a bus bay just outside the hospital. The landscaping around the hospital is designed to help patients therapeutically. This state-of-the-art building has 5 floors, which also include a basement and a rooftop. The hospital complex houses an adjacent building for administrative purposes and other functions that contribute towards the running of a successful operational hospital. Each floor of the hospital has something unique and different to bring on board. This ultra-modern hospital features an antibacterial flooring material, maintaining high levels of hygiene, keeping patients free from infections. Signages throughout the hospital keep patients and visitors informed of their locations at all times. The basement contains workshops for the following departments: mechanical, biomedical, electrical, carpentry, and ICT storage. The basement is also home to the medical gas plant, which produces excess gas that can be sold to other hospitals across the country. The basement also includes a security room, bulk stores, and a fire pump station. The manifold room is where the backup supply of medical gas is kept for the hospital. From the entrance of the building, the hospital offers a bright, modern open reception with comfortable waiting areas for all patients and visitors, as well as a VIP waiting lounge. Facilities on the ground floor include treatment and consulting rooms, an outpatient department (OPD), pharmacy, which has a main dispensary, bulk storage, preparation room, and a control room. The A&E department contains of a triage, resuscitation, ICU, and 3 wards within the A&E. The A&E also has a security unit. This is a unique feature to this hospital. The radiology department, also known as the imaging or diagnostic department, can also be found on the ground floor. The radiology department provides X-ray services, which are captured in real time. This department also has a fluoroscopy and a 128 slices CT scanner. Other features found on the ground floor are the data room, 4 lifts, and
the country where I come from. The truth is irony, just like I'm a farm. Justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islamic leaders silence. Kings and queens silence. Traditional leaders, silence. So who will say the truth? We are the workers of the call. No, no better. We are the workers of the call. One does no better. Who will say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, he did not see what I see so. Now you're from and I am Kamasa. Only baby Obeka Nasambia. So I won't go bet you were true. Everybody was afraid. And until I learned to my quantity again, once my board dumping one and but who go tell the truth? me. Nanso bien person beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Aya safwe muayini akukutro for nyina dalima. Enti who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your man set to me beka kobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when you know yet. Now so kutrata down and so be dia back or why no keke. I feel it for the money more pia for efo no cross on my move. Anya safwe muaini akukutro for you na dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi be the bottom and baby. Tachi sound your mouth pipinuma. With your mind of a shall and preference. But who go tell the truth? Do you see silence? Even journalists silence. Oh, then who go say the truth? Right is right. Wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target. Jobless, no they mean senseless. Poverty, no they mean useless. One day, them go resist.
The biblical crusade that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. We need wisdom to rule this country. Na omubema Ghana ayaye ni bisabio but we must also see how easily one can become an ignorant and unwitting spokesperson for Satan and evil forces that militate against us as individuals and as a nation.
All right, so that's the live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show Wednesday afternoon. And ra yentimi amba na ne enim sese na be ya senke the time no your friend say show eka nyansasem ene yetimi jai Kwame, how many hours from say 3 say 2 o'clock cry anye to 6 o'clock. Ya say no ka Canada no amaso. Well, you see, Black Star problem no. Oh. I need pass any time and ama enya players no. Enya players no. Nothing is working with your football. Sports in general, nothing is working. Enya wuntu mini eso kwatra radio bi so say oside no almost say oside me those foolish people, I don't listen to them. No, also say
sana owo we ni bi oni Bobie what omo Tony bi campaign and o ka say omuntuma Bobie na omuntuma Bobie a Ghana be qualify ko
hwem kwasi asem
World Cup na
hwem kwasi asem Kwame areho Kwame ya na nye so obi seda ya wo mu the way a Akufo-Addo ne sankrofo atinya reduce oman asema na Kwabena asa jimifuo bi Akufo-Addo no sa om group ni yankwasiafo pa o kwasiafo complete wey a regional chairman Jimmy say or regional chairman won't me wey Omotuma Bawumia Ghana Beko World Cup. Can you imagine? Onima de Krokra air koso. And it's good. You see, MPP afe na omo asha see free munu ehunu nyansa. Jimine Dawson no more badge su ye. Look, let me tell you. For you to get somebody as stupid as Wontumi to talk in NDC, yeah, Nkrofo be agye no so no. Era Edin CBC. Edin. Where you check from NDC records when it comes to your football, sports, just check. You check it. From Rollins' time, E.T. Mensah leadership. Kufuor time, ena ejigu ye na ono Kufuor no the ODBT Ghana for no say okoje can say 2008 and now 2006 say 2006 near call Germany no World Cup no 2006 Kufuor was the first president or they call World Cup and then 2008 or they can 2008 buy yeah. And that is the reason why some of us believe we say you can't compare Akufo-Addo to Kufuor. No. Akufo-Addo is just a useless human being ever to lead this country. Ever. Very useless guy. Faso bien in the well, or Busia, I need to respect the family. But Ghana, as our Ghana, and me as a taxpayer, very useless man. Kufuor the year call World Cup 2006 can 2008. Atamels the IJ World Cup. John Mahama time equal World Cup. Ofa NDC, Ejnawa PNDC, NDC, and you look at the way more develop ye football under 17 World Cups are ya jinina is at the PNDC, NDC, under 20 World Cup ya NDC. Krofo we beju o man na no man ye ne basa. Okoka omo ma wonka. But that is the reality. Omo ju o man na no man tan. Ena GF no so omo dey akronfo nko from top to down. Rascals, rogues, that GFA and Kwasiafo ne guo no. Very foolish boys sitting at GFA. Very foolish boys. You have a guy no GFA or no friends Kwasiano. What do you say? GFA. Keto Okreku. What is the difference between Okreku? One there why no friend Okreku no? Mike Okreku mante ono ye hwan? Ono ye deputy tourism. Okay, Mike Okreku mante ono na ye ena we Okreku. Omuti wo ha nipa adwene kwa. Omuti wo ha nipa adwene kwa. Then you have somebody Tuma Baumia, a winia, Baumia winia Ghana Beko World Cup. Can you imagine? Hey. Akwame, omomoti amayuko MPP omanyadi o. Omanyadi kra omadi omawo ya bro papa. Na membe tua omoka pa. Omomoti sa UP MPP traditional. Na. Adwene bia wo mutimu bia nye 2014 na ye call World Cup quarter finals no 2010 2010 South Africa enu mi ko hwe bi David Tete wati se ohunima sisano 2010 World Cup 2014 na Brazil no 2014 na Brazil no Adie bia ombe bia mfa kwam omuso microphone mu omukasa basa destroy bibia destroy sports Nansay na mi twemu o mekofa voter region mi yusu adaklu na omode omakoye sports facility bi ahye ho and baby omode ade na kwose no uhu efie bia o but unim say Kwame the same people na omka kire Jomama say yensi school emfa nhewuram na omode omasi sports facility di ahewuram Ojune wo mo you ask yourself I say akufo do MPP we kura mpo de abodam for complete they are mad people ade na obehunu so waka kire ni nua say menye na nye no the next 2 minutes ubo so woye say de yen say yare o say de yen onto o mase don't do it or no dinner no gusu don't do it no or dare no or kabi be foforo anyway let me end it here so that's it enkwala no de obia ntimi nka enye omo pekra next match omo nsam ye nhye wo mo Kwame World Cup no daben ya ben next year June July and I said June July next year so Cromford to say for the neighbor me ade be wies ka de ese nkola no tibi for so ama yewi yeah omo ba be wi ni na omo de yesika asesa MPP for omo mpeso omo dwane free kroma no aya okohwe ball na omo adwane ese ekwa bia nkola no be fa so ama Black Star yenko World Cup no ese omo fa so they should do it. It's so simple. Yenko onko ye hwe. All right, so mami ko ye mami and na me ba so fa Professor Jenano epic to mami Abdul Aziz say the World Cup is in 2026. African Cup is next year. Kwame, yes, World Cup near 2026 now say next year no. African Cup next year. African Cup next year. Nya near Bon Cote d'Ivoire no. Okay, so African Cup of Nations next year June. And the World Cup is 2026. Enu ana kromfo no ko. Kromfo penny. Okay, so Professor Jane Nanopoku a birthday. And maybe say my man a special song way. Na baby a prof will be ano onfen twane na ase. There be ayana list to a kasa same way. When you get closer to the NDC and you realize it brings a year juma. When you get closer to them. Fremo pare. Ayi Cecilia Dapa. Enya ne saso ne prof. Enya ma me fo mienu. Ba ko ya kromfo. Ukaze nkwasi asema Cecilia Dapa di yi. Professor Jenna no poku. Ofere mpo. Want me nye. Ofere. Want me nye. Ayi, mami. Ayi, chief of staff no. What do you say? The other chief of staff no, mami no. Aya woman no. I. Chief of staff. Frame up pare, right? One of the frame up pare no. Right? I hope I'm right. Okay. Now say o si onya running mate here. Now you ba omi ani frame up pare a omo kwa campaign. Ewura di ya shiara. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Na ba gradi nyankopo. MVP pedi. Fremo pare a opera animate. Yeah. Nkoso. Wei. Yedi piaka. When you get closer to the NDC, you will see brains at work. Marietta Bruno ayi miame mami di okumase no former ayi age no former age your friend say ayi di okumase NDC mami no tu say mami mpenifo omo animu onyam kofa we ma chumulanga bet mo reduce good all right, so this is Professor Jedano Poku and yeah mami birthday and baby bia Ghana for baby bia will be ano. Just wish her a happy birthday. Honorable Kwaba. Hello. Honorable. Good afternoon. Oh. All right. Okay, so somebody just mentioned Valerie Sawyer. Oh, when my bongo for this is for you, Professor Jenano Poku. Let's do this. Kwaba. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Honorable Bobie any. If I check from Bobie Ansah.
Yeah, Bobie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Minia. Net to say.
Yam.
And Professor Jenano Poku birthday.
No crap.
And say the proof back we found now.
You know what taking me by surprise.
And dear now watch your mom in a birthday.
Oh, my friend, I wish her a happy birthday.
Great.
Amazing woman, great mentor.
Great.
Obia, Ofano as your mentor, as your guide, you can't go wrong. Very self-effacing, quiet behind the scenes, but very firm and very deep. The intellectual capacity and grow, and it just comes naturally. Ability to guide young people. Also, for about 30 years, we're lecturer, grooming young people into mentorship. It comes to her natural, and you're very practical, very practical. Or you'll be or Tima, or respect for young people.
Great.
On your be say, oh, maybe a professor, senate, or maybe vice chancellor in the because normally vice chancellors, they are in a certain ivory tower, a certain cocoon. It's very difficult.
They are in their own world.
Exactly, in their own world, and very, very difficult to interface with them. But not this particular former vice chancellor. Very affable, very open, and I mean, Bobie, you're big on protocol, big on ceremony.
No.
She focuses
and
on down to earth. And she's a blessing. And your bumpire say, Nyame, a longer life, good health, more blessings. And she has an unfinished task, unfinished business.
Sure.
Also, the last campaign, she inspired a lot of young women.
Yeah.
And females generally.
Sure.
She made history as the first female running mate of a major political party, President Muhammad Daruma.
Inshallah.
The ticket will be maintained, and
Inshallah.
That unfinished business, she'll come and complete it and inspire. We all have daughters, we all have sisters who are looking up to her, and that mission that she has not accomplished, that she hasn't finished, and 2024 NDC bidding Konimna, the role that she can, because they say Obia who say, look, it's not about noise making, it's not about I have the magic one, it's not about public lectures. Ejuma is about, because running a country is about priorities, it's about compassion, it's about patriotism, it's about nationalism, discipline. That is what matters. I mean, and keep a renal center or more kidney issues who need dialysis. You cannot keep it on. You keep owing them, and they are dying. Meanwhile, for National Cathedral, Maya will say you can't take care of your school children. You can't increase their school feeding money. Even the poultry little pesos no krano. We say unisika ubetia. And the school feeding caterers are always hungry and angry and furious. And if you look at even the quality of food, even you won't give them that kind of food.
Yeah.
And yet you spend over 330 million. Say usikatira no krano sikano o diverted. David Ajayenkwa nipa bako woman over 110 million nipa bako. Another character called Carisames America, woman what time $6 million at Yamano.
Na sikane eya ekodru omo.
Oh, million. Good question, because me chase Carisames Shano America, the condition under which he's living, warehouse be Amiko Tuno, Rikiti car be our driver. It's clear he was just used as a conduit. He was just used as a conduit. And Ghanaians have realized leadership is about patriotism. It's about love for the people. I mean, sure, Professor Nana J. or survey 4 good years as Minister for Education. Did you ever hear one day scandal?
No way.
Not a single.
No
one,
way.
Not one. Meanwhile, look at education budget. And for education, you're one of the biggest ministries.
Yeah.
Since independence. Look at the number of teachers under that ministry. Look at the projects. I mean, and she supervised the biggest expansion in our secondary school educational history. Historically, the biggest E-block projects. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just driving past Yendi to say Yana invite you to do a donation to our VRA-induced flood victims.
Okay.
You should see the impact that the E-block, Professor Nana's E-block, is making in Yendi, and how everybody is praising that project. And yet, all these major projects, new universities, look at the University of Health and Allied Sciences, $1 million project in the Volta region, the first public university. Look at the University of Environment and Sustainable Development, in Somanya.
Yeah.
Major project. Now, so not everything prim and proper procurement, no 419,
no shady deals,
no trade, no katashishe. And these are the kind of leaders that we need. I mean, Obia Onko prioritizes some dubious projects just to divert funds and to line the pockets of cronies. We should give glory to God, because Ghana for the difference. Leadership, no sena and loud lectures, and yet comedy, and yet it's not about who can make all kinds
and yet choba argument.
And yet, exactly. It's about those who have a good heart, who are compassionate, who have their priorities right, who care about the children, the women of our country, who care about the vulnerable.
Yeah.
That is what matters. Maybe the past, I had the privilege of working under Professor Nana Jenopoko.
Sure.
And I think that I'm a better person because of that experience. And we can only wish her the very best on her big day. And your umpire said Ghana will produce more of her kind, and we will have the opportunity of even experiencing her better, as hopefully a future. When I say maybe I'm very biased when it comes to the running mate.
Yeah, I know.
Within the NDC.
I know.
I'm very, very biased.
I know.
I'm hoping, sir, because look at one of the finest chairpersons of the economic management teams that we have had in the person of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
John Dramani Mahama, if you like, economics class, 1 year economics.
Debbie.
On your finance person. But it is about common sense. It's about priorities. It's about patriotism. It's about love for country. And under President Mahama, or under Vice President Mahama's tenure as chair of the economic management team, we had the highest economic growth rate of over 14%. Under his watch, look at cocoa production, over 1 million metric tons. We had the longest period of single-digit inflation. In Cedar, our best times came when we didn't have an economist running the economy. And all over the world, even in Ghana, some of the best finance ministers we have had are not people who are finance people or
from Dr. Kwesiboche, Dr. Kwabena for
exactly. It's about management, Minia. It's about wise choices, policy choices. It's about love for country. I mean, when you decide, say, oh dear, Sikana yedia mao, say, sure, so never develop your mind, oh dear, target 20,000 euros an hour. It will catch up with you.
Definitely.
It will catch up with you. You have to now do domestic debt restructuring, do financial haircuts. For the first time in the history of our country, financial haircuts. For the first time, pensioner bondholders, pensioners have to leave their homes. Pensioners cannot enjoy a peaceful retirement. They have to come to the finance ministry ticket before they can get their They are what they have worked for. They are all money. They are not asking government for a favor. The earnings they have made, their life savings for 30 years, 40 years, they can't have access to it because of mismanagement. Mobile said Sikano and Sada. Oh, President Mahama, he decided to keep money in the sinking fund, money at kids. He kept money everywhere, money in get fund, money in health. You just blow it. Just blow it. National Cathedral, presidential charters. Jet President Kufuor order. President Kufuor, look at his height. Suddenly, Mose, President Kufuor, the jet is not comfortable enough. The spokesperson say President Akufo the person stretching the jet he can't stretch. Meanwhile, President Kufuor no order you according to his spec. President Mills use one complaining. President Mahama use one complaining. One quadie is not luxurious enough. Who are 10 or you have to go and charter. They say no, all the trips are not tracking. They say now he can't go and charter the jet. Jet now see and comfortable. That's what he's using now. The our countries are say oh jet known to mean or they are called America, or they are called Germany, or they are called Britain, or they are called France. It's not good for long haul travel. Oh, and yet really the best. It's not in great shape. You cannot say, they're forgetting about all those arguments. Look, leadership is just love for country.
Yeah.
Love for country.
Yeah.
Love for country. Look, when you love your people, you put down your life, you even be surprised where the resources will come from.
Sure.
And how you'll be able to do so much with little.
Sure.
As Jesus Christ taught us with the parable of the sower. I am very, very clear, Ghanaians have seen what really is required of leadership. I mean, look at Kwame Nkrumah, who we celebrate, Professor Mills, who we celebrate. I mean, they are not economists. They are not finance people, but it's about vision. It's about patriotism. It's about love for country, and they have made such a huge difference. And we wish that we will have their reincarnate. And I am really glad at the end of the day, Ghanaians are seeing the difference. Or more focused, or more quiet. They don't like a lot of razzmatazz. They don't like a lot of, if you like, makeup, a lot of jingoism and yet
young bag $30,000 and semi and
no, those things, no. I mean, from a poor country where your people are look, as I speak to you, I'm the member of parliament of the West affected VRA flood induced area. Thousands are sleeping in classrooms. Or mine we say Omunisika to provide houses, safe houses, decent houses for people who no fault of theirs. You've come to destroy their life. I'm taking care of people in homes because I can't move. I'm always, how do I source food? How do
I am saying, yeah, I'm saying, Honorable Kujetu Ablakwa. All right, so for the last time, this is for you. Okay, Honorable.
Hello.
Fatchame, you lose Kaka.
No, don't worry. Yeah. I was making the point, Minia. Look at the disaster at here, and look at this country. I mean, 2 months now, 2 good months.
Yeah.
Thousands are sleeping in classrooms. Abayin Wahimfa. We've been talking about even Saglemi. If you say that, there's an issue, you're saying you don't have money to provide that?
Yeah.
Why do we put in the budget contingency vote? Ushe Sika Parliament approve here for 2023 this year.
Yeah.
Contingency vote. Yet the 533 million and a 2
Anyway,
contingency vote. Sika no wahi. Obekaya. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, contingency vote sika no. And no na omode Echo National Cathedral behind the scenes secretly. Sika no krano. It didn't go into the project. It's created the world's most expensive hole. I mean, no to say, also for Kuku Dam, they have deceived them. Omunyana regret it, said they even want to associate with this project, and they have all resigned in droves.
Yeah.
Otabele Court, Dakeward Mills Court, Reverend Sudanaba Court, Archbishop Danka Williams Court. I mean, if you have these are your eminent priests. These are the people who brought credibility to that project. If all of them have left, it should tell you that you have been exposed. All the things I was saying is clear. It's come to light.
Yeah.
It's come to light. I mean, the only person left there is the double identity character. We don't know who he is.
Oh, your friend Mijemu
whether you're Reverend Kusi Boatiana or you're into or not, he's providing 2 members.
Honorable say God no go shame us.
He's shaming himself, you know. That he should stop mentioning the name of God. Anyway, Bible can say in the last days.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Look, the point is that leadership is about choices. It's about love for country. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Over power, and I say, you engage in dubious deals. You'll be diverting money, doing corrupt deals, sleazy deals, you know. Calling your friends David Ajay and Co. Mumbra, Charlie Apayo. I mean, David Ajay, the kind of prominence you have reached internationally. If I am him, I will have designed a national category for Ghana free of charge. Free. I won't charge. And you could have imagined how that will even boost his profile. Say, he's giving back to his homeland. After all he has done in the UK, in America, and elsewhere, he has gone back home and he's giving back. Look at what Professor Frimpong Boateng did when he came back to Ghana. You know, that's what that's the kind of example we want to see. But they used him as a conduit, created a money laundering scheme. When they say, even after giving him over 100 million cedis, when they brought Carrie Summers, who says, designer, why originally, your initial design, restaurant in Kahon, and Tifa restaurant Kahon. When they say restaurant in Ghana paid $7.5 million to David Ajay just for adding a restaurant.
$7.5 million.
Nobody should be deceived. Say, COVID, Russia, Ukraine. They say, I'm sure they will add Hamas, Israel. It's not these things. It is not. It is not these things. Because in any case, COVID, COVID brought over 30 billion cedis.
I see.
COVID was rather a windfall. It brought them a lot of money. Where is all that money? Look, it catches up with you. It is just bad leadership. That's why on a day like this, we should celebrate people like Professor Nana Jopoko-Kwajima, who have served no whimper of corruption, no allegation, no scandal, clean. They clearly didn't come into public office to amass wealth. They are still very simple people, very modest. You know, she very much reminds me of President Mahama, of Professor Mills, of President Rawlings. Yeah. You know, very selfless people. You know, they don't come in to say that they must charter luxury jets, 20,000 euros an hour. I mean, look, that you even have the courage as an African leader. I meet a lot of ambassadors and they say, I mean, those things we are reading from you. It's really true. I mean,
too shameful.
What's happening to your president?
Very shameful.
Meanwhile, you are arriving in their country to beg for aid, to beg for money. Nipa now, you are going to beg. Look at somebody like the former German chancellor, who flies commercial, who stays in her own small house, does her own garden. You know, Angela Merkel, one of the world's modest leaders. On pet design and Nema, you never see her holding $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 back. Even they in rich countries are sensitive. Say, hey, I'm a leader or I'm taken care of by taxpayer. So I should be modest. I should have some, simplicity. I should be sensitive. These are even leaders of advanced nations. On a day like this, it's important to draw the contrast and to bring to bear the qualities that we should all admire, we should emulate.
All right.
I will continue to celebrate the great Professor Nana Jina. May the Lord continue to bless her.
Amen. Honorable Yadasi Bebre. Nyame emfa nkono famra.
Amen.
Yadasi. Minia. All right, so that's it live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. My man pick another personality. Ma Ebarno Denia Ghana ma Emma Omoniswa Omuhuno. Takao Donko says happy birthday to the precious, gorgeous angel Professor Jinano Pokwajimame. She shine forever more. Seth Asuko says happy birthday, mommy. Mark is here. Maria Adams says happy birthday to Prof. Tetebi says happy birthday, mommy. Messages in the banner Basa, and we have a picture here on our Facebook page, and the same picture is on your YouTube page. Citizens TV Ghana. Michael says happy birthday, my precious mom. Thank you, Michael. Says happy birthday, my precious mom. Yada Mwase Bebre. Charles Samoa is here. Happy birthday. May God give you long life in Jesus' name. This one is from Charles Samoa to Professor Jenano Poku Yao is here. Says happy birthday to you. God bless you and give you long life. Kwesi says wise and brainy, beautiful woman. We have Lottie Jones here. From Asum Gabriel Tai says happy birthday. May you live long, mom. Kenneth Papachi sends happy birthday wishes to Prof. We have Era Abna Ade Blankson says happy birthday, precious mommy. Kenneth Papachi is here. God richly bless you, mom. Bruce Smith says happy birthday, mama. Hassan bin Abdullah Folisa, who says happy birthday to the one woman who is knowledgeable and he who is more than all the doctors and professors they have in MPP. Ebenezer Nana says happy birthday, wonderful woman. Nana Equia of Ebia says happy birthday, ma'am. All right, so quick one, let me do this. We have the National Women Organizer, Dr. Hannah Bisiu, on the line. And then, Oba Kesie a birthday. Doc, Akwaba.
Yeah, moment of.
Boko de. Ami. Doc, National Women Organizer for NDC and Munya Penny Momame Kessie Professor Jenano Poku Ajimani birthday. At the end of Ma Muokun Mumu Kachreno.
Dear Dikai, a walk can ye. Happy birthday to you.
No. That's right.
You say Bendiga, como muchos años. Happy birthday. We love you so much. Happy birthday, Nidikiaka. You didn't have to say what date I say Bakubim, Akanin Kwanaho. The concern is that she's been a mentor and an inspiration to so many women.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Rather say, man, no quatentina from within womb. Not the idea what one each media would be some piano, Yankopon, one Casanton, and a month.
Alhamdulillah.
We wish her well in everything she does. And, yeah, man, I think she happy. Many happy birthdays.
Inshallah. I hope say one in one a Beko campaign 2024 campaign one in one a Beko.
Yankopon Nadoma 2024 campaign. All women are invited to come on board, and why not? No penny our way why not? Some people crashes get a better on the work could be careful.
Doc, yeah, that's Bebre. All right. Okay, so that's Dr. Hannah Bisiu, any attending Kano. Baby, yeah, Professor Nana Opokobiano. Yeah, man, happy birthday. All right, so let's go on. Let's do this. Me pamacho moma me ntese adwuma we mfiri otaw ansa na maba Sam George yini wo wa boma me sa de we man ka bia ebe ha me pa almost say Sam George akoka say almost say Baumia ye religious prostitute into Sam George nyede.
Look,
Sam George nyede.
you're talking about a man whose character you cannot vouch for. Do you know whether our vice president is a Muslim or Christian? Who told you he's a Muslim? He's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. Randy, if he's a Muslim, when the issue of hijab, and please, 1 minute, when the issue of hijabs came up in this country for Muslim girls, did you ever hear Dr. Baumia speak?
Yeah, you can take him on
When the issue, he is not a proper Muslim, and I'll show you why. I'll tell you. No, Randy, please, let me make my case, then you can disagree with me. Yes. When the issue of fasting for girls came up during Ramadan, Dr. Baumia was silent. When the youth in the Zongo youth, the Muslim Zongo youth were killed in cold blood in Kumasi, Dr. Baumia was silent. No true Muslim anywhere in this world believes that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. No true Muslim. Baumia, no true Muslim, kneels before a Catholic priest or a pastor to lay hands on them. Baumia, look, and if you want, you can take the Surah Mariama that talks about who Jesus is. The Muslims believe in his immaculate conception. They believe he is Alhamdulillah Isa. He is a prophet of the Most High who was sent. He is a unique prophet. They agree that. But they do not see him. They do not see Jesus Christ as their Lord and personal Savior, as you and I, Christians, do. Baumia goes to a church. Right now, he's an associate member of Church of Pentecost, frolicking around the church. The church must begin to purge itself of charlatans. You see, going around and claiming that Jesus Christ is our Lord and personal Savior. He is not a Muslim.
He said that?
Yes. He is not a proper Muslim.
You're saying that he said
Jesus Christ is our Lord and personal Savior and we all believe in him. Baumia said it. We were in this country.
Okay.
Baumia is not look, the best you can describe him is he's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. A religious prostitute cannot be our president.
All right. Okay.
Look, Andy, you're talking about a man whose character you cannot vouch for.
But Kwame, asemo Sam George kind no edian na eye wrong na dia na enye no kre asemo Sam George kind, and I think say Sam George Krano na he's been charitable. Baumia ye nipa Baumia we. Then I heard some people talking trash nonsense. Sam George in your opportunity no onka same religious prostitute. This about me. This Baumia guy could share Muslims on the quiet. And then now come here, any those boys around, they are not ashamed. Now, I have one say NDC phone to me pick. You see, well, sometimes Ayana Waja Wasamka. Hi, said your mama and a Christians. I know catch almost say me a Christian into Christians what Ghana 75% more than so umber to about my major mama. What I send the Abacos who chroma bini. Bomia Kosia a young Muslimi for Casasam natural woman. That they should help him to make a difference. What difference? That MPP is selected no because of your Muslim Muntina MPP selected no as running mate and now a flag bearer. In the Sam George Assembly kind of again no question you Kroma na Kwame. Your friend say MPP government asuma nkrofo your friends Islamic SHS ne okumase no enkola no se ka bobo mo to mo blocking street no yanti kroma ana mo suma invisible forces amom kobo Islamic students no prepare wo mo ema to trip to a man of kroma. What is about me be no what is vice president? He's a Muslim. What is OKBB? What is about me OKBB? then I heard some people making unnecessary ugly noises. And some George in your opportunity on San Cabio. Dabio, this Baumia guy. Eko sia John Mahama wo program ase. Obusa John Mahama say, o e Kristo ni no obepe de won kremofo program ase. Yare di obia fane any issue with it. Oh, Kwame, so ka se nipa Jimmy a. Ajimi 40 said na akomi om one people muntinu na alanchamati no nyina agyan no. Very foolish boy. Sa kwasia no. They are got 3 pieces of manopano. They are the one you know, friends. Akomia. What you sa? Na me mene some George and Casimo make catch na one make home kwasi 7 kran kom be fe. Omukosia akwa we ni din se Baumia. Ekwosia John Mahama ewo Muslimi program ase ebusa ne say oye Kristo ni no obeye dan ewo nkremofo program ase no watuba na and your friend Malam John obia hunu anything wrong with that obia hunu na me minim say Sam George no ono no omo keka nkwasi asem no ofi obia Sam George ede na be uni anodia would kasa na be kasa ntimi nye hu te hu ntimi nye ede na be obe den ede na be wa num na ya ohene na be titini sa na okọ me say Sam George in your opportunity on sign kabio your support 100 1,000 1 million 250,000 66 million times. Sami unya kwaya saika bio. Kandi ebe yo makuma ya ebe omo da omo na samale kwabra buodi nyina afaka ho ya Sam George fa samale no eke obi odi funu da ba obi o ye nipa obi oni funu da obi oni efunu eda we nipa Samentias say Sam George Akoka religious prostitute. Wait. You want more examples? Let me have more examples. Bear 1,001. Baumia. Masa. Ja. Mama men pick it adewe. Yeah. You best say Kroman penning for. Peace Council. Christian community no Christian Council any other groups aka omo for Baumia ntrase na omunya ne kasa kire won se John Mahama akọ ne to also John Mahama emmo obia di ni di natem. Yeah. One baby Baumia di atem didie na akofiri ba. And I hope say Ghana ni bia wutie mi bia no. Ubetie me. Asopem. Se mo baby a odi atem didie ne efiri ba. Se mo baby a Baumia di atem didie no efiri ba. Asema ba obi abeto no na asum no ampo. And sometimes ayana me busa me ho say Peace Council, Christian Council need those groups no. Is it that aya akamfo na a leading into ogina wa want ase o. Let John Mahama and make one a yes statement. And you see, the problem we are having here, and some Ukraine are dangerous, no. Now they have run and hid behind Baumia. And to ya and say Baumia no so ceremony. But they know that the majority of MPP accounts. The Ashanti and friends Achimfo no and Akwaufuo. They know. They are just using Bawumia. They know. It will never happen, say, a for Bayer majority in MPP. That they know. They are just using him for now. Because somebody wants to keep on holding the party. There's all the Bawumia also party no. But Bawumia no in the mukake. And a Bawumia so I not say, okay, Jimmy Miangro, Mayami hu Jimmy. Na mensaka de me pay we are. And I'm assuming who de me acquire me dia chim for me faso. Inti aso obi a tete ne yonko. But they know. Se Ghana mpanimfo bebem akasa kire Bawumia, they should start talking to Bawumia. The earlier the better. They should do it quick. Inti saa. And some of Bawumia and then yere Samaria betin wo mo asum no. Omo busuafo wure beho. Ma on fatem die start. Just put your issues out. Jo mama ka asem na wo feel say enya no kra. Oh, asema me nuane kan na enya no kra. Say ni. It's so simple. Because hey, Ghana for here, opinions, alternatives. What you say? As much as we know, say Bawumia, you are a blockhead. Ya bibia ni utrimuno. Yes, and Kwabena akwa you do aba. So, you are welcome. But hey, do a clean campaign. Your mama baby. He has never said anything ill about you. Only did what da. You went to North just one day, first day or two. You started insulting him. Number Bawumia, John Mahama say we dead go to Krano, or so we Krano, and it is a wo Bawumia Samale. A useless boy like Bawumia, very foolish boy like you. Ghana what be penning semda, so be near funu akwa F certain vice president akwa trefunu obi funu wakwa tupuruma and 20 minutes. What is a home penning semda? Just a rogue like you, a foolish boy like you, no. If they don't talk to him, say Akufo-Addo no amfana antrase ankasa ankyere Bawumia. Say look, ya campaign sa hwe so kan asem, John Mahama kan asem. John Mahama yawa. We will let him know that look, you can insult him. But say wo dia tem didie wo ni policy bia na say John Mahama na ade ne be ye twapia dia. Ha! Bawumia be funu. Eya say kase bi akosua. Say ya almost one chimo so anya dey o. Clown, Jimmy we. Ankola no e kan we say nyina Jimmy. No do Samuel Queen Jimmy for anko. Na obi akomia na ya spokesperson. Jimmy for anko. No mo be ha ni pa adwene. They just want to destroy this country. Foolish people like that. Your campaign, Kwasem, Unim say 24-hour economy no, Uni Bibia can stop. Here's what Kwasem. Bring your policies. Let's talk about your policies. Neja will be as a mano. Who I won't be. Dear John Mama Beccabiano, almost yet. Dear John Mama Beccabiano, when you say about me, I shall say, on me more. One policy say na meye choba bon choba mame say 24-hour economy no ase ne say choba for year 24. Can you imagine? We are talking about giving incentives to industries. Tete port taxes no tete so na attract business na boys adwuma nsɔre ɛwɔ port na da osa no ɛwɔ ɛyɛ job creation estimate o but we should go back to a buying books mu nkɔhwɛ sɛ enipa yɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ adwuma port no yɛtumi for failure na please I beg you Ansah don't go there but me don't go there tete ɛyɛ taxes no so let the port attract business na afei deɛ ɛhɔ no mpagya embu me John Mahama say industries are voluntary because ɛnyɛ force say obi yɛ na adwuma obi a n'ani gye ho said look me pɛ sɛ me yɛ more production into the system yɛtia ɛna ayifo ebe complaining yɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ diapers ɛne ɛyɛ friend say sanitary pad yi Ghana yɛwɔ only one company pɛ enisi enya other companies 3 4 5 bɛka ho ɔmo so yɛ bi ɔmo yɛ bi wɔ Kumasi ɔmo yɛ bi wɔ Takrade ɔmo yɛ bi wɔ Cape Coast ɔmo yɛ bi wɔ Tamale aban se ma more incentives electricity and water ebia from this hour to this hour ɔmo use electricity a si ɛtɔn ɛma ebia public no 1 point ebia 10 cedis a yɛtɔn ama ɔmo 1 point ebia 2 cedis 1 cedi anase bia de cha ɔmo na I motivate you omo to onim say anadwo no obetimi aye more production and pay less electricity bill and water bill. This is what we are talking about. Yet Kroma Kwame, could you believe say owo Jowuluha Abelenpe Achimota Adenta Ebonaju one now throw down for say upe fuel ata obeka chosebra airport shell. I'm telling you mimi chira na jopa so I know. Yeah, unam kroma na dwuna di agrona fu osa awoka mu a baabi a wono be da ho. Do you know why it is airport shell? Because airport shell no area hono security wo ho. Enti sanka airport shell for no kranka na dwo mo nya adwuma. But the hono den say armed robbers be ba because of the airport na eben no. What are we talking about? Yet your mind is a Ghana mu. Ebo say, ebo tena, unyo okada. Yeah, what to be able to say amasamai? Abokobi. Dodowa. Ebe mamprobi. Nasa upon a juma anajwa. And I bet in Yamasiase. You can find Okada. Anajo 10 or 90 Kumasi 10. Okada for ada Takrade a habo place 10 enkrofo ada your friend say tema 10 11 na paps upon bibia pon into Okada for no ye legalize no na buying hwe how be rope omo into me ba Kwame Ghana say about 5 p.m. about 6 p.m. obenya a train atukwai keteke on mind to say Ghana keteke entimi ntu adadwo ebo se sa apon enya betwamfa jolu pa yesi train koda. Can you imagine? And somebody is telling you that yam put in an effort say bedru baby no and I just 2 a.m. 3 a.m. me person me call Western Regional Bobie I don't need to drive. Just sit in my train, get my ticket, me na me chrono. Me or driver for share me. Utra train no more sleeper. Ajijia de mada. So let's brainstorm. What are we doing as a country? And yeah, bet me aboa. Because the more in look, Kwame, opa yenye sa implementation way Greater Accra, Kumasi, Takrade, Tamale, Boga, in the city Sunyani. You see life a beba Ghana and employment a beba Ghana. Also pharmacy shop. Pharmacy shops, I'm telling you, Kwame, about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, Jesus oba baby to say cantonments ya. Cantonments kura no unya bi. Cantonments unya pharmacy shop. Ah, yati kroma yeni ma di kura kwaso. And you see, that politics of deceit. Omo ko nkrasia, no omo kwa kachira omo. Oh, yati kroma. Amanfo do omo ma clinics. Amoma kwa wu because some kwa doctor ni ho nurse ada ekrom ha na wo ba omia samira no otwi ponso no ene moma mo yie mo yie se bibi tum se esi anu a you go to places like a friend say hospital ya a friend say Leicester was is it Leicester Hospital, am I right? Wo Major Mahama ran about no Leicester Hospital ene nya honum ho na mokro na go sia hia fo ma no a omtete asaman ene ne mpotam no a anadwono ode ne be fai enti wo ba omi aba yare a anadwono ofre na asojafo ede ye friend say ka aba be fa no nyu ne ede nako enti wo say 24/7 you are happy. Mampong government hospital about 10 o'clock it's not running as Antimampong Mimi Krom hospital. O yira chire nim pons makuma ko 1005 o mama ayare a siren any de be fa wo e continue. You don't feel for the ordinary Ghanaian. Obisi pharmacy shops close by 9 to 10. Kwa mesi kopokuase kwa santo kronto kronu na kohwe enko sofa community bi wa pharmacy shop no ye one pe ena ho by 7:30 wa pon o yare from 10 go ya obewu. What are you talking about? Now the ame ya MPP for no ahia wom no omotete those lungu no obu okra nya ho clinic onsi order o wom na support ba omie make that kwasi argument. Somebody is telling you that look, let's expand our 24 economy and me adwuma me ba be ye no to make sure say awio anajo you can access whatever you want. But me say also to be a momo utimi momo anajo yanga sasem shanga sasem me yare me tipokri ase me nya pharmacy shop anajo no me ye momo na me de ma uni ana wo si oto wale shanga sasem me ye momo na ma hwan momo ni me ya me de to ade. And when that thing is not in operation, what is the use of the momo? And you got to the choba, you know, quick one. I won't waste much time. Now,
hospitals are open for 24 hours. You can buy electricity 24 hours. But because of digitalization, you can transfer money for 24 hours. You can receive money for 24 hours. There are many chop bars that are open for 24 hours. The police is working for 24 hours. Security services are working for 20. Hospitals are open for 24 hours. You can buy electricity 24 hours. But because of digitalization, you can transfer money for 24 hours. You can receive money for 24 hours. There are many chop bars that are open for 24 hours. The police is working for 20.
Hospitals are open 24 hours. Where are the hospitals? Where are they? Just look at this man. Where are they? Hospitals, no way. Where are they? Say, see, I'm a producer, catch him say, even with the Momo Nukra Wakano, anaju unya ebo 8:30 a untimi enya vendors enyi scan through more 7:38 untimi nya vendor momo vendor enyi ska. Just imagine we let my minja na omobama but ya bo abin aka sembi ya boabia ka sembi kwame ya no na mepe ya boabia ina me de sende wo no enye ni mienu ni o me pacho bomame ya boabia say Ghana's interest is no longer important to the MPP. Really? Raphael say assignment official time pharmacy normally closes at 9 to 10. Commander, Alute Jacobs also said that yo, don't mind that guy.
Yes, sometimes. It
happens.
And you decided to superimpose a butterfly on the elephant.
Not necessarily. We believe that it is time that the right things are done. The elephant is supposed to exist to serve the people of Ghana. When it gets to the point where it becomes self-serving, instead of looking at the interests of Ghana, it begins to look more at its own interest and how it looks like, and is preening before the public, then it's time to move on and serve the public.
I see. Let me do this first by asking you what your yes.
So initially I said that a party is meant for a purpose. The purpose is to take executive authority, prioritize and make decisions. The way the MPP is headed now, we are not in a position to take executive authority and prioritize the right decision-making processes.
And you couldn't stay to fix it?
So how do you stay in when you are being suppressed and you are being pushed out? The MPP is not that MPP where you will thrive objectively. This MPP is being manipulated, directed, and is emasculated. It's weak. It cannot do anything on its own except it's directed from outside. And we know the source where the direction is coming from. There is no room in that MPP for any constructive things to happen. It's gone. It's over. But this is not the first time we've had a party. We began by talking about the PP and the PFP and the UP, and so things happen.
Mede ya say ya boabin betie mi ya. Ontie mi. Hwa kwame. This man ya boabin. Na Madam for pardon no. Yeah. Ya boabin was a very good friend. Misia ya boabin. Omu yi medi wo Asempa FM foforo no. Misia ya boabin ewo I think Minua Kaba a yease. One of the programs ewo Joy FM 4 quarter ni mu wa. Ema ya boabin ka kire me say me ye Anti Akufo-Addo. Enti misia no a mama nchia no. Ya boabin we. Yeah, na kaba yenu akaba yi ase. Ya boabin hwe manim ka asasem na kire me. Because se Akufo-Addo hu a se ya na ye Alan no. Ya boabin ye nyina na ye Alan. Wonim se na me 2008 na mu se Alan no onye correct. Oh yeah. 2008 na mu se Alan onye correct. Say because ye nyina ye nim se de Akufo-Addo sitie se oni Akufo-Addo ya de pa no anya no last hour. Ebi na to Joma ama no. Yeah. 2016 na nyame yi Akufo-Addo ama Joma ama direct. Say so wie no. O ka se nsem enema Akufo-Addo ye in 2016 se Joma ama ye mu kwota. Enka Akufo-Addo me achi Joma ama tum ama de besiesi. Yabuabin now is telling us, me person me say Yabuabin no say. So even in 2020 and mo year campaign me Akufo-Addo, what were you thinking? Selfish interest. In the campaign mano, onwini on kwadna yensa meka party no. That was the thinking. Wa nwene Ghana ho. Afa enu akotena kire ebe ka kire Alanche Martin ne nkofo no person mo portrait say eye Akufo-Addo nko na adi bone no. Mo ne no so da adi bone no. Alanche Martin ya boabin ohininto ohininto no kra de ono wan sha da nka bi. Ono wanya campaign ama Akufo-Addo da. Ohininto wanya bi da. Ya boabin. okwa Sempa FM no akotwa da pasa ofiro no odnani akere a Peace FM ya boaben. Today you are telling us say Ghana's interest is no longer important to the MPP. Uhuni da ben. Mo bo obi ama wa say o man no, we destroy country no, we bubu o man pillars, your democratic pillars, your educational pillars, we destroy bibia and we jahoko. And was ye jay another blockhead. Who your campaigner? Shall see your campaign. Hope see adoye. No adane pimp. Kwa Franco former free Canada. Ado ma be said them. Una woo form wachi. Akwa dem akwa form laptops. High tax. Edo mo ye nyema funu. Una wu lead a armed robbery gang against a year obabesia. Hope see adoye. And you are crying today. Oh swatch the wine. Miame Papa Boniface. Now ose a Jubilee House. Omo ka say ombe zongo founder sika ne buy. Ono omde chedi ye. You share the money. Mudi wie no and aba be ka kire say now they want to portray say oh ye de ye nka ho ye de ye nimu hwe mo didimu aboa na mo say oman no for 7 years ya boa ben. Ye ya boa benum de afrafra to for no mo di agrom ko campaign krofo boa ba boa mo no. Omo no wahi eche Akufo-Addo no mo. I'm telling you. Womu wahi because adia no mo ko bu Akufo-Addo. Look, what are you doing? Omo say Akufo-Addo no mo ye bi eche MPP mu emienu. Alan the ma mimija Alan echidie. Right from 2008 bepim 2012 ni emu bi ka kire Alan munche party no mienu munjam mienu Akufo-Addo so obedi president de montem ho munjwa party no na Akufo-Addo na di president awie ba omi amode money bi because you see on your head onya he o say selfish interest ni bi na Kwabena Japan okoye omo pam no and akoye campaign hwehwe ni mu 2016 and omo wini ye and omo ye be ma bibi sa ya ma hwe and ananti sun ya 2020 na gabi we be frɛ ono ma Land Cruiser and omo ska kakra ho na asa firi gina ho mini list over tie be bia na Kwabena Japan frɛ list over say obetu ye yefo say si ama meboa ne wo fa ase ne ye santifon kola ye campaign man DC enti sese no so onya ba bi sha ye betumi aba ne nkyɛn ana ene so onya ba bi sha we de we kekawe me ena list was me hwe wo nkyɛn ene Bobie so me hwe wo nkyɛn se no man ka kyɛn so me man chief of staff enti wo de hwe na ye so be chief of staff a ye nya hwe me di Akufo-Addo bibia nu ye me fe de bibia nu ye be de kromfo say na dua ne kura ya metan aka Akufo-Addo nko a wo Ghana me makoma dimi akume kromfo sa ukoye campaign wie ye Kumase ena obesia ye ne wabusia FM ena mo kasa ya ena nkola mo firi Kumase ena hwe de mo tenkran ena mo ye yo omo wi ni ya no site to twene ye obepe eye flag bearer no omo je wo se fie ni school na dia homete ajaye uwie ya na wase akogina soro dem se ba omia number 1 chese se bia mbefa running mate oh nyaatwumo kofo side for no de nyaatwumo kofo nkrofo no nyaatwum afoko nya asem na Alan twe no ho ana Alan ene kwadwompiani num be ya aka ana omo sa be bomu ere na Richard Anane onsi ye Alan ade ase Alan de no ko ball Akufo-Addo ene ogya wo mumu enti yekum afoko Alan ankabi yekum Samekrab wa ankabi yekum Ohinto wa ankabi yekum Kwabena Japan wa ankabi sana Alan tie sana mesuban tie sanya ono ni interest a obia interest ye fucking Alan Kyerematen no obia wo boni woni tirimo ono so ne boni e woni tirimo no sanya ono Alan Kyerematen Kwadwo Kyerematen a no way it shouldn't be anybody there ye obia me say Apia Stadium bese kwa Akufo-Addo fie no mkobo no ada wo kwa Akufo-Addo fie o fa me ho e wa Sempa FM Pyramid House na mka chense fie a wo komi also Akufo-Addo na na se membra satan ne nyina ye Alan wokwa no mu dum no fine wantimi anka so wajai party no ofie ho ofri fi obegina bonte se wajai MPP Alan antimi anka bibia moa a friend say Apia Stadium at look omu kobu ni nsem mimi case bae Alan anka bi woni say omu wini 2016 me frère Alan me listo ye frère Alan sa me dem share that pa me friend almost getting to 1 year one father chese Akufo-Addo num hu say omo ne ye kasa chese ye outcast for tini kwa say Akufo-Addo num hu say omo ne ye kasa hey ene me nu nyina nko be sie se kura me de me dem NDC de pra me national chairman mi amini afa na so ativie NDC national chairman mi amini na mbano mo na mo aya mo bono o chire mo papa la nchematin hwe boninyo wi ase what do boninyo. All right, so these are some of the few issues and I think ya boabenom omo enhwe asem bi ombeka bia no omo ne Akufo-Addo na yeye and should remain same. It should remain same. The ombeka bia no omo ne Akufo-Addo ene yeye boni bia wo mo ka bia no yentimi enyi omo emfrimu. It's not possible. Omo ne Akufo-Addo na destroy this country and I think more enrani away because mom nyoma dwene say omo di ministers and Akufo-Addo omo akote afrafranto no NDC ba no mbe hu rot bi ewo wo ministry a ombe ka say wo de ukote afrafranto 21 ka ho wo ka ho Magdalene was national chairman papa bi amiami nie na me ona mo akwaba
ye mu comedian
na say me share ba me yonku bi oh Bobie yes o ye NDC ni let me say minia na chese me no ham so oh me nka ne bone na me say there bi me nka say wo sia mi aka say NDC ni nie o de mo mi di Bobie no mo bo me NDC no anampe. You see the point is ono mo yentimi ntra omamu a obi asuro se ade ami obi beka say say usuro so obi beka say there, which means you don't believe in your conviction.
Of course.
But when you believe in your conviction and you are very clear in your mind, because honorable here and yes TNT o baby a Akufo-Addo dia bedu ni nyo ehu
no correct
usia oh eno anajo esia MPP from penifo mienu bi na ensema omo eka no honorable say MPP free so a wan hwa niema mu behu no gese mo organize national funeral day
wakan manase ayi na wachoro no
sao
wachoro some write up bi awie na mahu
I see. I wish sank me hu.
Futuo e na ode ma President Mahama. Say onami monko promise bread and butter bia.
Dabi.
On promise say obeje democracy na si ho.
Simple.
Because osim ye ekoso o manu hu ye, obi anhu ye, but obetena konwa no so a ena obi hu rot. Any proye, any se ne o man na se yaduru. Enti se sa amre na wakọ promise amanfo a ni obi hu no nti untimi nye. Enti you should just promise Ghanaian say obeji democracy na so is enough for him.
Me say honorable Nra papa fon mi enu mi di nkomo sa om say hey Bobie enema no aya na mo keka ne de eye ne mawo wo say NDC ada ban besesa no enema mo Ghana fo be hu no jese obia twantum tuntum ye yie.
Yes.
Ba ko ka chem say sikani bi wo ho a omo atama koto ba bia omo hu ba bia om de akoto. And a big problem among Akufo-Addo and then the chronics, a big problem. But this can be what they do. Omun nim baby a da.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, omun nim baby a da. Scan be omun and omu do hun komo. Omi obi catch them say, Akufo-Addo nkrofo no baako no. young boy bi eswende no almost $15 million.
Wow.
Jikoto me honi bi. Tipa.
What they call?
Almost sika nkrofo de adwane no. Honorable almost sika pa Kufado family no ne friends no. Almost sika nkrofo de adwane boys no de adwane no. Because time sika ni bi hu baby a omfa mfa.
Tell general kan ye no. I say ahimfie twene.
Akowia.
Obekowia. Kan fa so obebọ no.
Obeda bebọ no abonten.
E na ya asem no. So oba ohene beti. Udi pienso e yayi.
Ene honorable akwaba.
Eje osimi no.
Merci about so meka Ghana for said ne meto me raffle no mecheska *413#. *413#. The attorney said more betimi atwa no consistently from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. Bonanza kese ede amamo. Me pa cho muntie me ye pa. Me pa cho. Yeah bonanza kese ede amamo. Eye moa modia, eye moa ena mokro. Mr. Moda. Enadia no me che nipa pi 500 na mo de akoto eye mo na mo adi. Edamu ase. Honorable Adama Sulemana MP for Tyne constituency. Sanso na Orachas nyame on na ye convener edema omode ne Gold Coast Fund Management. Also I'll say Bernard Mona will join us. This one and Akusipoku will join us. Uniacha Sakwaba.
Oh, Commander.
Bokore.
Commander.
Okay, so honorable quick two things na pesa obwa me maye ye quick na make sure say sir me hu aye parliamentary service letter bi Mr. Speaker's official residence and the related issues. Pacho what kai?
Makai. Yo mi na me da se. Me say na otwe ya mu speaker ewo breakfast meeting a afi bia wo ye. Se ko bom paye na wa bi ne kwan ama public ama Ghana for no nyina na nkutahudi e wo bi ono omodi. Enti speaker kasa anum no ena na oka ensem a ekoso o man mu enkankan efa nsase sem ho ena oka twa mu kakra mpo se oka twa mu kakra o menu ani 1 minute se ono mpo asase oteso no e wo cantonment no se enye obi na tiara na so a nkohu ye na yato ama private developer e ho na speaker dan ni se otim na nka yato ama private developer just a test statement to a speaker man you know. Oh, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources I issue statement. Lands Commission I issue statement. A very topic for discussion. I was a speaker about me so you be a piano. And so I can't some not try now more the issues so bad. Anti parliamentary service paper a year who ye a public relations direct media relations.
Okay.
And I issue statement. No more clarify some speaker kind. Speaker can say your tongue. But also be anti and also I'm announced sorry. Nka yeton ye enti leta na ye nchirechire mu a ewo asem o kan no o chirechire mu se ye duruya du lands commission ho a nipa no kwaji papers no ena nipa na nkasa o ton no hu se the lands is in the name of parliamentary speaker
enti nka hwan na eto ama no
enya aban through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources ena nka yeton one money ton plot to my way. And say, yes, sure, say, Bobie, President Nakufaroteno.
Jubilee House.
Ye fear, and say Tonya.
They can do it
because it is a real possibility. Ye atontontono at Dawson. Enti, Minister letter we are by a true quaquini truth here, but the reality of man say. Prime lands, state lands in Indiana no. Abaya fa kwan bi so atonton asase ni nyina ma omo ho. Bobie speaker te kwan ka ye ton. In fact, wasan de ahye mu say Bobie collect to parliament no ya ton. Bobie ana collect to parliament ete no ya ton.
Really?
E wo letter num. Na ne san wo letter num ni say.
Fatwa mame.
Yes. Na san wo letter num ni say. Edan atwa speaker ho ahye nyina na nka no state lands no. Ya ton a private developer almost.
E wa kire ho.
Yes.
E wa kire.
Yes, abrosan. And to be a speaker, Teno, is no more conducive for the use for the speaker again because.
And you know what to
high-rise building, you know,
so what to
I'm not sure.
Obi am line is a speaker too.
Yes. And only your man a letter.
Any GIS equemo.
Immigration.
Yes. GIS equemo. Wenma. Wenma.
One there.
Oh, I'm down by Kubiswo. Wenma. Now say one lawyer Poco or something, more facility be what Labonia. To facility say $3 million. Assassino. Kind of cash. And I do normally lawyer is one more kind of cash. Normally car Belfast can from Labonia.
Was $60 million in free every airport. But I'm back immigration custom pending back home. Also, 60 million Ghana.
Oh, my baby, Tam Edico. So, oh,
I get bank card.
But, Yana honorable, Obi, Uncle Fobu Charles. I don't know. Mean to me, Nisa say, when there is a change of government, those state lands, Mamunti Muntimin Bibiana.
Oh, a bit my home.
How? Educate me.
We will take them back. I mean, say, BSC pay. And Senya and this Nigeria power in 2009. And Kababia Foreign Affairs Ministry see na ya ton. Na Kofu Abanya ton. Sa land ni nyina and this Professor Moses na Sambeji ye. And a man nya babia si Foreign Affairs Ministry.
But this current NDC leadership, do you think Ombenya Kukodra is adian?
Oh, na Professor Moses Abano nya extension of Professor Moses Abano.
I know.
Yes. We will even do West. We will do it. Yeah. And you are winning say what to aban plot wa unim say one fa kwampa so ne toye sabe say fa kwampa so pon ne nim say baby e pass ye de nya sa na ye de ya we will take it back. We will take it back.
Okay.
In fact, yes aponchire ni wu a eni be hu ne tenten.
But which means legally no we are going to pay more judgment debts because nipa na ye facility also. E was so
through rightful means.
You see their procedures are there are some lands that which are even not for sale at all completely. One who say, "Oh, hey, Mra, and this question has come to Parliament like 4 times."
Demi Busau, yeah.
Aye, 4 times. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources at Parliament. So, on match how much lands any free any which has been given to which person a free one on a for like 4 times. Also, we had digitalization of the Lands Commission. Every time that has the answer. And since 2021, I remember Parliament. Nipo tabisa question pa era Suhini bisa sa question 2 times. Yes, sister or Achimotai Teresa abisa question, you know. And he has not been able to answer that question in Parliament. And me say sa ponchire ni wu a
Okay, so we have the parliamentary service letter here.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker's official residence and related issues. So quickly, let me just run through. We refer to the media stories on and reactions to the statement by the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Babin, Speaker of Parliament, regarding the official residence of the Speaker of Parliament. It must be noted that Mr. Speaker stated the attempt at selling his official residence, which he made reference to during the Speaker's Breakfast Forum in Accra on Monday, 20th November 2023. The potential buyer proceeded to the Lands Commission for the necessary due diligence and realized the status of the property. That was when Mr. Speaker got to know about it. We also wish to state as follows. 1. The Right Honorable Speaker did not say that the Speaker's official residence had been sold. What he said was that it was almost sold. 2. The reactions by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, the Minister of Works and Housing, and the Lands Commission so far have not tackled the subject matter of the alleged sale. Now 3. A visit to the official residence of Right Honorable Speaker will unveil that almost all the surrounding buildings and accompanying parcels of land have been sold out to private developers. high-rise apartments have been constructed all around, leaving the Speaker's residence as an island and endangering the safety and security of the Right Honourable Speaker. 4. A trip down memory lane reveals that sometime in 2019, the official accommodation of a certain clerk to Parliament located in cantonments was sold to a private developer. Other properties assigned to Parliament have suffered similar fate. Parliament, we are encouraged by the decision of the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources to investigate this matter and hope the investigations will establish who attempted to sell and who the potential buyer was. Transparency in this matter of utmost importance for the sake of public confidence in state institutions, and signed by David Sebastian Damois, Director, Media, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, but, Minia, this is scary.
Yeah, it's scary. It's really scary.
The Parliament, Parliament in SAS, no more dining baby.
We let the speaker a media relations officer. I can say, Yaton Parliament, no man be brain in SAS and be. Yaton, I can be a speaker. Ena obiti announce ohu ya o ka ho asem so ayem pese obeka no in fact let na hwe lands commission dey na ma hwe ma mintimi kan housing ministry lands and natural resources but my kind lands commission letter and truly they never talk about omantimi and tackle say attempted sale o man ka ho asem
na say yen ton
they say yen ton ye but ni pa nka se ma ton o se nka mo ton
as whether so obi aba ho ampa
yes
mu no obi adi nkomo
yes
Moyi indentures near the idea will be.
What stage na mudru ye? Man can answer. And the speaker later we are every parliament teacher say, "O mo can answer no mo nchire. Hwan an kaye tono. Hwan an kaye to ama no." Sani pano baya nke be ye de pa.
But Charles, so what is wrong with Akufo-Addo?
On say area say ya wo ba yatete no. What the two bad near my back? I was saying the two bands. So I collage and I say or start here edidia. Sometimes who be on try so come the now try so in some you na be dey. E be dey aduane no.
Yeah, nkola yes.
Na what you be one of the bonkumu di na so hu out the mienu na ya tia kola no. Chai, ya ngan sa fa we di chai. For we di. On say o share sa family and friends government we are. I say a yadi be a running through Mumoja. I say, dear, Omu she don't fi planet for us na ba. And now, be PA treasures be so. And now, baby, free buy ne bini hawk. And ne 2 agusto 7 periods and once ne 2 agu be so. And funka. Now, Bribia, the America said, the Yami Yana say, the technocrats are on mine of demo atana. Government beba ako no na me blame omo na me blame omo asem we ye kasem la asem hada. Where were the technocrats? Or where are the technocrats?
In common your day.
Yes, you first your director. Wo government change NPP government abeto pen and this government abeto pen and NPP government as abeto. The entire the mo tena won say mo de mo nya politically appoint
person common your day.
Omo na edu some pempen so a omo na sign some of the document. You tell them say no.
Who should tell who no?
Oh, masa.
The civil service no man crime and yes how. I mean there's the political class, you know, has overtaken the civil service.
Man crime and yes. No, never some your director.
Yes.
Say you can say emra wo ho kwan a ye wasase bi kwan e fa so ayeto. What one near the about between him says sign. When I say sign, then you sign it.
Just the man who is president, you can do that. That is vicious man.
Oh, the point is that they will sack you. But at least you make it.
Let's face reality here.
Yeah.
Honorable, I can't say Mrs. Honorable, I strongly disagree with John Mahama time. You can do that because during John Mahama time, NDC 8 years, we had similar challenges in Ghana here, where politicians bulldoze their way through. You see, the canker has been with us for quite a long time.
That's my problem.
But Akufo-Addo legitimize it. They say no, one man is legitimate. That when you are a politician, you wield so much power that the technocrats cannot stand you.
Yes.
What do I say? It has been our culture all this while. We don't allow the state institutions to work. Look, honorable, Erade Domo, mo second coming a mobile. Me, Maka, Nema Munua, Erade Boajo Mama more ya. That at any point in time, a civil servant, technocrats, will live above politicians.
That is what is supposed to happen.
So that is what then again say Obi any civil servant Ejuma for 5 years. You are appointing minister, deputy minister.
No.
Look at Obi says I'm here at NLE. Onya Ejuma da. One top empawada. I know this boy. All of a sudden I am millionaire. When you leave such people to come and steal the country, Obi achira there 30 years. Sika ayi your friend say Pius Ajidewo ohun bi da.
Ekura de wakọ actually.
Ayi boy ya or Jubilee House the Irija no and ire so owo adan 6 months. Eugene no of referee radio so me wan sempa. Oh, sometimes the system has, bad. Yes. So now, honorable, this issue about technocrats, no, on to me cash because ya the above to name ya you know say on sign. And on him technocrats in the omoye. On him so no on try the being scat or cantonments as I say. Obey no be answers, nye dodoa. The Obaba to cantonments as I say no be man a 100,000, 200,000 Ghana. No so go see the dodoa. And do the tracantoments what so you dodoa.
It is the more bad no ya dodoa die be
say. It's simple.
It they also enjoy.
Yes, of course.
Okay, but the point is so. You see, you chitro mine. The entire Kwabena also be better be brainy say. You boom composure ye chi. Ashe the echo sum pempen so ya. You say enyama be bring ye. And only the be you usum be brebe you. And you know, this is the time I see starting. Say be o advocate. It say, Yankopon ya domna say. You ra John San baby you ma. Adia ba kwa wo pay hunu say. Technocrats and civil servants be be in certain field for a long time or holding some prestigious position. No, they will rise above politicians. If that,
it's not possible.
Bobie,
it's not possible.
Bobie, if you go ministry, you could do ministry. One head ministry, no
chief director. Like okay, day-to-day affairs and I say overall, a minister. No.
So how can the chief director rise above the minister? Until say a best son, Emrano.
Yes.
Until say a best son.
But is it doable?
It's doable.
It is doable. Okay. You see, when we constitution way, 10 BL amount for complaining say it's the constitution that is bad. I disagree. It is the implementation of the constitution that is bad. Mejitum said there are some areas of the constitution that here attention. But I'm telling you, say, Sanke the constitution way yeah Juma and Kanya near Koso or my woman near Kosono. The bottom line is that Mejitum say was President Mama pension other government habano. You similar
it was
but you see the constitution was made in such a way say we will have a reasonable president. A presidential constitution.
Okay.
So we will have a reasonable president. No, yes. Obiani or envisage say Ebenya president obeka se media memfa hwe ho ne obeka bia memfa
se metweska men ko parliament ko ja approval
men ko ja approval and the Bank of Ghana a finance me deficit amewo ma printisi ka ma finance ne mewo and I don't care nyoma ekoso o manu nyina say obi e bone na obe clear no all the constitutional nyoma breaches akoso ye yini pa free court ye bu judges ye bu we all of he doesn't care. That constitution didn't envisage that, and none of our president in the Fourth Republic aye nyoma na kufu ado aye no
that
enti ono na expose a flaws a ewe constitution no
yeah
enunti enka normally no me my chief executive officer ewe this assembly pen ewe time this assembly
okay
I was a chief executive officer
okay
there were occasions I will go to my director, this is coordinating director, with a proposal. I say honorable way there the law doesn't allow it. He will go and bring you the local government act.
Perfect.
The law doesn't. He will stand up to me.
That is what I'm expecting.
That is it.
He will stand up to me.
That is what I'm expecting.
Director, and he say, "No, okay, just say. We have to go here. We can't award this law, this contract here. Let's go to the regional coordinating council. Tender no our region. We will go and do it there. But you see, and then the district coordinating director or what district no cannot do it because Ochena transfer no.
Yeah.
And he will not stand on his feet. You see, the message cannot be good. And you tell me, say, the messenger cannot be bad, the message can be good. It won't work because the personnel I don't matter now. Nipa no otisoro no.
The message is as good as the messenger or bad as the messenger.
And the subano permeate kosi down there. And the subana on woman no. And one will be a woman. And you say, ye law no any ho. And then you say, law no so and protect it. And can they allow to protect the civil servants, say, from political interference? But look, one who you now see of Ministry of Finance no. What will be paying my way?
Yeah, but
say finance minister ako present a budget. Now me no. Yen appraisers of the budget. The people who present or more prepare budget no. The people at the finance ministry. Minister na dey. No man can take it be no yo. Yeah. Enti me no na say appraise budget no say budget no. E be serve we need and I serve we need. Na minister no ba parliament no. The usual yem is a man of parliament na nsi. Minister oba ya na nkro for almost 80% omon pen no. Enti abosoba wanya no parliament no. Okoje abasobo no.
Koje France no.
E wo France no. E wo Ministry of Finance. And the people who are clapping and here to asori nyomo ho no are people who are paid with a taxpayers money. Omo civil servant. They are not politicians. Enti when we are condemning the politician for being rowdy our parliament, we must condemn those civil servants at the Ministry of Finance. And no, and for independence, Kwabena, me need finance background. But say me more finance background. And I president mama appointed me said me Minister of Finance. Me could do Minister of Finance. I will sack all of them.
Are you sure?
I will sack them because I cannot work with them. Because no more say they will sabotage me if I leave them there. They will sabotage.
They will not help you to do what
they are no more. It is for no reason. They are saying, say, I was a civil servant on a political. Send a buying biabano. Mudi munim dear. In fact, civil servant, a lot of them have got the knowledge and the nimdian nyoma. They can be better politicians than us. I chamber no. But a man is open so by yes, for you want to ho.
Yakoye.
Na koye, ne who say dear. Unim dia wono o dia ba ama ye nyina ye hu say me no nyina ye ka politics na sem ba se mo anya sa na minister na be present wie na obeduru fie obeduru office ho afa na mo bebo mu nsama no ato enwuma ma na o kina se minister ne sesa na another minister na ba e de na mo be ye yenim ko enim na mo no
anyway adamo
ha ye ayi
achi budget ni ye nwura mu straight near the about economic issues between JM and Baumia. But my be budget no much.
Okay, me budget no. I'm say almost 400 almost 309 pages.
Yeah.
But me no best summarize budget no. Mate. Send e be ya. Did there any brofo ya kan nyina e be ka bread and butter issues ayo budget no. And here. Na the seat any yemfa de ensie nipa no on say budget presentation and kasa minister be present ye o present be 49 pages me tum say a summary of budget and o present ye enye the full budget now so say o ka kire Ghana for say matete taxa ewo sanitary pad so taxa ewo electric cars o wa person obe assemble electric cars o import o nyoma na metete so enti metete nyoma baako mienu miensa na enum so a e wo se utimi in the same vein utimi ka kire Ghana for no so say ebia taxa ye wo we baako mienu miensa na we e ho dada no me di bi ka ho enti me ti we so no me di bi ka we ho but minister no ba ye no conveniently o skipo ye
yodi bi ka ho na
de wanka ho asem na nemmom ne ode otete so no e no ka na no kura so ne say ne otete so no okika ni nyina bomu a per annum is around 200 million Ghana cedis otete afiri so no is around 200 million Ghana cedis and amount no be hwere okay but ne ode be ka ho no o pay 11.3 billion and ode be ka ho
okay
enunti one mention new tax biya. Now so tax on kwa yebetuya more from previous taxes, adjustment from previous taxes, no. Am I 11.3 billion new taxes? 11 now ban say ebe 6 billion. And that is a 11 and a double. Almost double of the initial 11 about the buyer. And to her abana kasa the statement or the buyer. We have page 68. Or the buyer. Or say or her total revenue and grants for 2024 no. 176.4 billion. Now, Osha revenue also a 31.9% increase into her 2023 budget now. Also, on increase your revenue by 31.9 billion. Now, revenue here no kunya free. Or kunya free taxes are able to free me no home. Enti budget no tough for me na say. Yes. Or budget 176.4 billion. Any revenue obenya. But sika also obe spend no 226 billion. And between sika obe spend 226 billion. Any revenue or say obeje no 176 billion. There's a gap. So a gap no a budget deficit. Ye problem aye wo man we mu nyina wona na kufu ado aban we mu no a budget deficit. Na me pese me kire eno ase kakra wo yanka se ye dada setena mu. Etise ne wo ne wo yire only Obusunya Tifie households. Only say budget. A aggregate of individual households. Na kwa ababe general. Na aye state budget.
Okay.
Enti ono yire no man Tifie. Obusunya for Tifie. No matter how long o madodo no yire dudu bia mo Tifie. Ena bosumi bia oji sika 10 million. 10 million o emphasize oji 1,000 Ghana cedis. Na oji 1,000 Ghana cedis ya. Okay kan o sika odidi nyina bomu a
yeah
okay kan o expenditure nyina bomu a
okay
o expenditure no bia 1,500
okay
o so sika wo je no 1,000 cedis enti dia na abeye obekọ nchen akọpẹ sika foforo obekọ akọpẹ bisia ada so obekọ bank ho na akọpẹ bisia obekọ namfofo ho na akọpẹ bisia but obekọ akọpẹ bisia na o de asoso
yeah
there are two things that you can do either say obedi o expenditure no everybody for man na bedru 1,000 no and then unko je besia na bosome no so bi na eni ho but you be fine ba ye de ne ntesa ye kwa akwaje besia se bosome no so wakwaje besia no wantimi antua na bosome no so biom o se o masan akwaje besia biom ne no menko wo ho menko kwa me wo ho ba meko menu a chance ho na akwaje besia na free menu a chance nso ho ade echi a o se menko ho meko menu ya oti studio ho yi ade echi a wanko no ne ho na wasen akọ brapani a wabai akọ no so nti wakọ besia no bebre wakọ gigi ni bebre na besia fo no nyina hu se oji sika na untua enti obi ase me ma obesia no biom
ana ye besia so de kodi
wow
besia so a oji ye no so no wanfa nkoye adwuma ebetua ne ho ka enti wantimi antua besia no na wo ba biom na wo se enye se mintua o ba mintimi ntua enti se sia me wo ha ide moma me akwanya na mo a mede mbosia wo man we mu no me mede me terms me a me mede ma babo bosia me wo me terms ne se mintimi ntua mo ka na nso me nka nkere mo me ne mo nya nhyehyeye me hyehyɛ a mede abetu ho ni wa wo pɛ no befa wa wo mpɛ no mamfa na sika nka ese metua ma mo afi no agese mfie num mfie nso achi ene domestic debt exchange program eno so memfa bibia anka ho entimi ntimi ntua me sika no na afa me kwa amana no mo amede o mo kan so me no mo so koye we ena wakoye sad na ode budget ya betu yanim se e ka na yede no untimi ntua enti afi sika obe spend ni na so untimi ntua e ka na yede no we eyenkunim die enti abanya obeba obeka se waye we nyina bobusia we nyina chi enti wadi nkunim odi nkunim die no be kire yen me hu aso se o start budget we eye ne friend say bipolar budget. Bipolar people, they have what you know can we are they channel can we bipolar budget because emre bi a ebe adwese ebe tua ye car ye de no enyoma e wo budget no nyina asesa senne ye ka se ye tua ye car inflation rate aban so obenya no ebe sesa ye total debt stock aye wo no ebe sesa ye interest rate ebe sesa sika ye de be ye mpuntudwuma no nyina be sesa enti such a budget, this one is a very fragile budget. And there's nothing about nkunimdie ewo ho na meka sika sama ye beji nyina no ye gi sika no na ye tua ye ka ye. In fact, even with the domestic debt exchange program no, we also service our debt because your external debtor, your external creditors, ya boka bilateral ones ewo ho, multilateral ones bilateral one ye amanya ya gigi omusika, your multilateral ones ya ko World Bank ne IMF akwaji a wo se tua. I say your commercial loans also yeah. I say sa bond ya flow to bond several times and also ho. And you heard that portfolio na a mix up and yeah. And the say even with this them essay program no debt ni be available also you and he's going to spend I think 55 billion and the year your domestic your debt ye out of 227 no obesia spend emu 14.4 billion non-tax revenue no and you also 15 billion na afa obesia adisika no bi aye ye friend no statutory funds, get fund, national health insurance levy, and nyoma, and also obe spend almost 11 billion, 11.1 billion statutory funds. Sikano so odimu 63 billion ebe to my forecast. Afe odimu 21.8 billion ebe ye capex. To say, and then ye de be ye empuntu juma. Na ne aka no betua energy sector levy and also energy sector levy ne energy payment shortfalls IPPC do mo kan nyoma no so ye de emu 27 billion enti 226 billion na aban say ohwehwe say ye de be ye mpuntu dwuma no emu 28.7 billion ene be ye actual mpuntu asem 28.7 billion ene be ye capital expenditure. And this out here. Now we say ye be ye wa kwan a think twice. Ote ha now we say be school dan a think twice. Ote ha now we say ye be ye onyoma o expect say be ya think because sika na ye wo no enchichemu a e wo sika no enti 226 billion no say na chichemu no tie. Bobie wa mesi bebre.
Bari anko. Ye na me monitor.
Yes. And unti the bottom line is say we are going to increase our revenue by 31.9%.
Okay.
So that increase in revenue we no wouldn't say IMF the moratorium at 3 years so. Enti ye ntimi nkobobosia se na ye bobosia no.
I see.
Yes. Again, Ajama so eco flow to bond no. Yeah. We cannot go to the international bond market until 2027. And the Akasa be increasing revenue by 31.9%. And he be free. And don't think obi away or candle or anesta. And go catch it and say, yeah, taxes no so. You better tax no so sanitary part. You better way so, you better way so. And go jina why catch it and say VAT no, you increase volume by goods or edge. Communication service tax are edge no. You increase the bouquet na ye di communication tax was no because what it tax also 200 million Ghana cedis ah what the bill can be hon so amana ko 11 billion enti no person this year enti the bottom line is afi non oil tax revenue enya oil no
enya esikasem
oil sikasem en America aban say or hwe say obeji non-tax oil revenue 173.3 billion. In fact, page 68. Or say obeji non-oil tax revenue to the tune of 135.9 billion. And for total revenue
135.9 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes. Okay, 79% of total revenue.
Obeji Jeffrey.
Or Jeffrey me no ho. Enti Ohe oko revenue measures are while listed babia obeji enyoma ni nyina free mreba e be ko honso.
Ka ko ma hesisi anke
Okay.
Because the next question is say in free oil no more o je no hefa.
Empa meba. Wachira oil there. Osi total revenue no 173.3 billion. Total revenue 173.3 billion. But ohwe sika 226 billion.
I see.
And in between 173 and 226, you only have to go and borrow.
So 173 remove na 135 near non-oil.
Yes, 135.9 billion. Oil.
Non-oil.
Non-oil. Which is 79% of total revenue. No, non-oil. And Tiniaka no, oil revenue, any grants, any gold resources in your money and a cover money 173 no.
So the 135 no or Jeffrey
or Jeffrey Yanko revenue measures.
Okay.
Budget no. America crabby.
Yeah.
Yes. Revenue measures.
Yeah.
So the Income Tax Amendment Act 2023. Act 104. When we say you pass it, income tax amano last year, yeah, he is going to increase income tax. Income tax, he is increasing it again. So
income tax now you tiano.
267.
Or more be increasing. No?
Yeah, increasing that in 2023. There's an amendment act in 2023. Yeah, increasing man.
Okay.
And it was on. Say I'm ranting because I almost say yeah the tax at all game no.
Yeah.
Betting tax. You see, there's a VAT on betting itself. And so trying to do one new, there's a VAT on it. But what we know now, winning coupon, yes, tax, but there's an original tax on the bet itself. Whether you win or you don't win, there's a tax on it. And it's going to increase this between 2024 and 2027. Medium term, you. And year one.
Okay.
And on the stamp tax, the stamp duty tax, 268. The stamp duty act 2005, Act 689 had not been reviewed since its enactment in 2005. So he's going to review it. 2024, you. And they are going to do something that implementation of second phase of the communication service tax. When you say you have communication service tax, into the second phase and also back into effect.
I see.
So they are going to also introduce transmission tax. Yes.
Transmission
emission.
Okay.
Yes, emission tax. Because they think emission continue to pose danger. They are also going to do environmental excise duty to cover plastic packaging and industrial and vehicular emissions. And companies and firms are plastic nyoma. They are going to introduce what we call the environmental excise duty.
Yeah, there's some more big increase, no?
Yes, they are going to introduce it.
Introduce.
Okay. Yes. And then VAT. There are some goods na VAT no exempt. For instance, educational materials, books, and nyoma. Na VAT it was VAT exempted, but they are bringing all of them into VAT. So
so eventually, no, books and this and no bobbing.
Yes. Listen to this.
Now, I had the answer man for and said until
because when he came, he decided to tell us what we want to hear. And in your kind of there's a bridge version, but Nana can say, so what me I can't almost say these are revenue cutting measures.
Kwabena for phone based screenshot baby reading.
So we are revenue cutting measures. I was told him catch this are also the revenue enhancing measures. But I'm back so. And one of your stations FM free, more friends in the bureau, come and say FM.
Yeah.
A day after the budget had been presented, when I was telling him, he was arguing with me. Say, Minister Bayo, no, one cancer.
Me cry me the okay can.
And then I me cancer. And the minister be catch on a bridge version, just the speech version. The propaganda version. What the government wants us to hear. But the rest he has put them in. And I say this is a bipolar budget. The words are sweet, but the figures here are scary.
Bipolar budget.
A bipolar budget. Where's no any figures no don't match up. They are two different distinct personalities. Complete personalities. The bottom line is that government wants to raise 11.2 billion.
I see.
As additional revenue through non-oil tax. And the tax is a 2 year. He wants to raise 11 billion. And he wants to give us 200 million. Because sanitary pad, you know, and all those measures or those piecemeal measures, you know, will reduce government revenue by 200 million per annum. But he wants to get 11.2 billion. But one more 11.2 billion also answer. Or they are not 200 million or they check amount for no. So basically, say a casa budget way near emptier. That's what we mean. Because anytime I mind this, I say all the indicators here are man per se or protected or forecast say inflation will be around 28%. They say 35.2%, but forecast say about 25%, and that by the medium term by 2025 we should have an inflation of 15%. Or forecast say the debt to GDP ratio should be brought to 55% by 2027. All those indicators will change the moment we start paying our debt, because this thing domestic debt as a program any say Minister for Finance or Paris, he's negotiating with our foreign partners or more or moka. When we decide to pay our debt, these things will not work. None of these things works.
To a bogus document.
A very fragile document. Very, very fragile. And I say a bipolar document. A fragile document because as we speak now, for creditors,
yeah,
we have not come into an agreement with them about how we are going to postpone payment of the debt.
Do amuka.
Now, will be the car. Do amuka. To say China, bilateral ones, to say Paris Club, to say bondholders in Yomano. Send your those in the way through with the domestic debt exchange program. Any haircut or the air. And as we speak, the minister is still there. But this budget is in our hands, saying approval. Hoping say he is going to get an agreement with them. That agreement has not been reached. It's the reason why the second tranche has not been released. Because we have not reached that agreement. The big boy in the almost China a big boy. Meanwhile, China, we owe China around 1.8 billion. By a total debt, foreign debt is around 15 billion. China alone is holding it because, he doesn't kowtow to the dictates of the IMF.
Yeah.
And the IMF still doesn't come in when you want to negotiate with what creditors are. So basically, the bottom line of this budget is that, you see, you pesika, you best spend 226 billion. But you see, you benye 173 billion. Enti nyakano a budget deficit. Consistently since Aban we take it over, we've been running double-digit deficit because time bia isika yedi no bro yakọ humasika woso.
Yeah, promotion ni bi.
Eno nti sa wo hwe deficit no double-digit no ene na ama yen debt no every 122 billion no akọ almost 600 billion. In fact, 598 billion no is up to the end of September.
Anyway, mami maunia akwaba enkomo numu ode chairman wa say chairman Mona chairman akwaba pacho chairman Yusu we no pacho boko de
ewo maimu de ma nda
chairman media eya na mebusa boko a eye nkwa na bibi boni bia ma ya so honorable
nka bibi boni ba ya nka memba ha ma ba ha yidi na kire sa ni ana odwe no ebi nsi
inshallah
wo se liso wele ni ha
asao
wa komi ma mi kunu ho
ɔkɔ maame kunu hɔ ɛdɛ nyame ase ɛdɛ nyame ase ɔkɔ de papa ɔmo nkɔ anenim but Minia, on the budget say budget yana issues about manifesto but let's deal with the budget issues we name which aspect you want to tackle but honorable adresi adebia obia ni maho about taxes via air train ewo ye nim ebinim wa honorable afi no be introduce right afi no be introduce ebinim also omo baba be pejem like income tax you mentioned income tax then you mentioned VAT on education materials books and other stuff which is a little bit scary.
Well, na maminchia honorable any etiefoɔ ɛne ahwɛfoɔ ɔmo a mo hwɛ wɔ Facebook ɛna ɔmo a mo wɔ Ghana ne ɔmo a ɔmo ni Ghana ɔmo nyinaa na nea ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ certainly the 2024 budget is a budget of doom, no opportunities whatsoever. Ohun sɛ ɔwɔ minister any and our president only introdi now our appointed minister the minister will perfect in the lies say okay that at the inception of the year ye domestic debt exchange minister for finance and our parliament in seeking to seek parliamentary ratification and the IMF approvals. Say okay.
Yeah.
Minister Neka say there is going to be a freeze on public sector jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Yamina Meka. When there is a freeze, do you employ 2.4 million?
You can't.
I mean, just take Anyamina Meka. The minister Nankasa say there is going to be a freeze, and the freeze was placed.
That was in 2021?
2022.
2022.
Into 2023, no, there had been a job freeze. So where did you employ the people? In the midst of the job freeze. Ewahi. Na say you bisa say ejuma no wahia. Na obi abekachire say NAPCO. NAPCO so for the past 11 months, no, omo amuye ejuma when you have even closed down NAPCO, no, yentua omoka. So where did you create that job from? But sometimes I say that our parliament is too relaxed. Because we don't take the minister to tax. Ubekase. So what you said, just reflect on it. Reconcile your own statements. Because Uko can't say our parliament. Now say when did you cry that is perjury. So that is perjury. So you allow a minister to come to parliament to come and lie, and the following time he comes to lie. And jobs, has not been created. In fact, what we note is that we have suffered job losses
in Ghana.
Very much.
And GS, and the Ministry of Education, it really see the number of teachers that have left the teaching profession and they have traveled out in search of greener pastures. Oko Ministry of Health, nipa no more training the best of the professionals now. They get out. So this country has suffered job losses in monumental order. But you are not allowed to query because better radio so to query these things. Our MPs are supposed to do it for us. Now, aside that, Tier Minister Obeka said there's going to be 0 rated taxes on locally produced sanitary pads. As you say. Now, Obia, sorry. Oh, almost look at Omaka sanitary pads and some. There no can. One can send biao. In fact, what he did was to inflame into Sesiano when the 2024 budget is approved. Now, Okojum now Koto sanitary pad there. Naturally said there will not be taxes on it. The 2024 budget will be approved before the end of the year, right?
Yes.
Into January, 1st January. Say your sanitary pads are. Naturally said there will not be taxes on it. And now from that day, no, it means that sanitary part is no more a luxury commodity to attract luxury tax. And yes, I'm a minister. Taxes are still imposed. If you da, mobile be ye, ebi ewo Ghana ha. Na mobile be ye no ewo my Ghana ha no. Mobile be ye no den. How are you going to produce it? Because nipa now mobile be sanitary parts no, they don't produce only sanitary parts. Offer to Binko, for instance, entrance pharmaceuticals.
No, but when we say even with the sanitary part, no, only one company they produce with Ghana.
I'm saying that even those who are producing it, they produce it alongside other things. Into material now, mokakoto ediabano. You will not go and distill them and say, wait, a sanitary pass there. Until you are waiting for them to bring the material. When they produce, then you see the component that is of local, your friend saying, that are of sanitary part before you can give them the tax reliefs that you are talking about. So, se nipa no nisika, ontimi kokra nyama no emfamba. And yet, they come and use, embellished English. Na oma dane nyama no, na oma yate say, okay, ya confuse you obianti, obiani aje ya kwakoda. So, you can understand, say, Kojo Opong Kruma, in the budget debate.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Did you hear him? He said that they need every hands on deck to make the budget a success. Yes. When have they ever said that? Never. No, Mwanka say who said near budget munu say a man for Ghana for Amboa and Yamoka no Kusiaga. Because Omu Ashwe budget statement ne you know, Omu said Nyama Enkoye. And anything that the Speaker of Parliament, Enra, na Penyo Markins, Minya Oko Casford, some of these things you should know it. Oh, sorry, now Kasa big. The Speaker said, hey, to Boise. Now your majority leader, he's a limping majority leader. Because Unshenechi, Obia Niho.
Obia, sorry.
Yes, Mama.
Obiamba.
Mom no year budget now.
Yes, deeper now mo year budget no. So sometimes that is why I ask, what is the interest of the minority? Because omo the budget no ba say omo betena se no mun debate budget no. Omo. So why do you also go to support them? So if you don't go to parliament, there will not be quorum. If there is no quorum, the budget will not be debated. And yes, sir. And if it's not debated, it cannot be passed. So why is it that the minority takes it upon themselves to do more the job of the executive than those who are working with the MPP? Mentias Bobie, mentias because sometimes this is what the minority.
No, but the other side of the argument is that if you have a responsible friend, do you also behave irresponsibly?
Bobie, look, if it has to crash for us to rebuild, let's crash it.
I get you. I get you.
Let's crash it and then let's all go and start afresh and know that we have nothing at stake.
No.
But we cannot be holding something that you have brought to us. Then you now kope baby atna.
Ufri also now catch your support.
Many say those who are supposed, they are in Paris, they are in Oslo, they are where? Then they leave the job for you to do. Then they come and tell you that munimshi. And rana metie baako no your friend saying near oye hwia omo baba yes Chinese say you want
sticker
so say your baba see theater na yetimi aye
bushua
yeah me any metie no then I was wondering whether this is somebody from the government side.
Yes. Deputy Minister for Trade.
Bobie, look, this same minority unim ni omo ye the people of Belgium, the government of Belgium. And who say Ken Oforiata and as a President Akufo-Addo, they are laundering money out of Ghana using our embassy accounts. And yes, said Sikano eba omaimu. Yes, sika kitkwana krana yewono. The people executives no, they are laundering our money. The Belgian authority closed down the Ghana embassy account on suspicion of money laundering. Oh, they called some members of the your friends say majority, some ministers, and no for majority no do. They went to Brussels, Belgium. Begging the Belgian authority. Says our county, the minority. They went to beg that the Belgian authority. Yesterday, where your Ghana account?
The 8th Parliament.
Where this Parliament? Now say check the records. They closed down our Bobie. You can just Google Ghana embassy account. This no, it's not up to 3 months or so.
Yeah.
They went and begged. They went and begged for our embassy accounts to be open so that more money can be laundered. What is the minority doing? When in Ka-Esi or Belgium, no, the minorities would have made calls to other embassies, other countries, to check whether the Ghana government was not laundering money outside. Mufi say Kennedy as a Japan, similar now can say, or move ye sika no modi ekono na odi agro. He knew what he was talking about. And then you go and support these people. Then their embassy account is open. They are still doing money laundering. Then no more but now you are part of the problems. The minority. I cannot. Massa, if we are trying to build and you are trying to collapse, I'll help you to push it down faster. When there is nothing to stand, then you see that there is the need to build. But the people, they cannot. Look at the debate. Go to parliament and go and see. They don't come.
Yesterday I was watching. There were about 23.
And then go and check. The number is just insignificant.
There were about 20 or 23.
You know?
Yesterday there were about 20 or 23.
Say, Ebimu ya ministers, they are there. Ebimu Afena, they are trying to realign to shift loyalty to Bawumia. Yes, wherever Bawumia is going, they have to follow so that they can be seen. Should in case say Bawumia can sustain, now they can also be recognized. So they will not come to parliament. And then they brought their budget, and you have to ensure that you debate the budget. At the end of the day, you vote in parliament on the budget. Then everybody will be called back. Everybody will be in parliament after the budget debate. Then they will re-vote. Finally,
yeah,
Bobie, this is a very terrible budget for the people of Ghana. It's terrible in terms of revenue. Sure, in these austere times, you cannot decide to run a budget deficit.
Yes.
A budget deficit where it means sika dudua obenye any busia okwa akope no. You ba bedi sika chain ni awo no. You understand? You are in debt. You are going to all your revenues, including external projected revenues, is far less than your expected expenditure. So when your expenditure is higher, it means that you are going to borrow more. And when you are going to borrow more in these crises, naturally the rate or the cost of borrowing will also be high. Inti Mokwaji, for instance, Enranamitie Kujo. Or see, they went to the bond market and they got a 30-year bond. 30 years, no. Na modasuti we are here. Na modasuti ha. Why mo no mo ba betu ya 30-year bond no. So you are borrowed to spend today so that people in the future will come and pay. Bobie, that is Akufo-Addo. Openia onjai dapadie. Ba oboka mayam. Bobie, go and check Tema Oil Refinery. There is some scarcity. They have already sold the place.
Yes, sir.
And no much share ownership, no. And that's why I get tall. Oh, 40%, then they give some 20% to an insignificant group of workers and management. Tema Oil Refinery. More than 2 years, 60-year-old thing. You run the thing. They give you responsibility. Say manage store. So that we can produce and refine locally produced crude. Mumu wetu ya no. Adani business mo tong e di amamo ho. And as if these things are not paining us. You see our members of parliament, and then, they go and take it easy. This is not a matter to be easy about. We are talking about the soul of Ghana. We cannot strip our nation naked. Bobie, who, as a human being, honorable, me you tie, na me you jacket, na me you, and then I remove your drawers.
Naked.
Will you be comfortable sitting here?
No.
That is how we are stripping our nation naked. Ye into man atadie nyina Ghana na ye no. Ye tutu. Look, go to the Senate hotels. They have been sold. Golden Tulip. La Palm Royal Beach. La Palm. Onim said they posted over 25 million dividends to the state. But it's being sold. And we are keeping quiet. We have brought you to come and manage stage assets. Untimi swa. Leave it like that. Then you come and you are selling it. Then at the end of the day, you go and bring us a collection of words and you tell us that is budget statement. What is this for? Look, Mami, repeat it. The way Ken Ofori-Atta is holding the finances of this nation, and Akufo-Addo cannot do anything. My dream is say Akufo-Addo di Ken Ofori-Atta ka. And I repeat it. Enti President Akufo-Addo ombra nombeka chire Ghana for say na mi di Ken Ofori-Atta e kase. I'm sure say Ghana for no ye be your contribution near tua
near ho atoye
near ho atoye na wa maken Ken Ofori-Atta no akotena say na oman yi ayeyie. Otherwise, we cannot have this kind of statements being presented to the people of Ghana at this time. Look, everything is going to go down. Finally, almost they are giving 220 million as relief items too. The same way COVID relief funds came.
20 million.
And Ken Ofori-Atta 8 miko yibi. No, the amount enterprise insurance. Say munkoye insurance emma frontline workers without issuing one single insurance certificate. No more this scanner chedi. The same way and a 220 million yi omoko akochedi. Into ye better no no maka say omakoto sanitary pads, omakoto tablets, omakoto mosquito nets. No more the invoice kesiye ediaba. The money is finished. They have shared the money among themselves. This is not our budget.
Chaze, there's this story here. Mama Yarga petitions Parliament to probe delayed funds disbursement to aggrieved Gold Coast Fund customers, and you are the convener.
Yes, and yesterday.
Oh, no, open your day.
Minia, in fact, Enra, I dark here manage.
Yeah,
because sir petition way I linger on the table of the minority caucus for almost 3 years now.
I see.
Yes, since 2021. And you joined to the then minority caucus leadership. And come, I said, 2022, ya permiso, ya ante na recently, Anna, ya sign a call, Ira Babin ho, and ya nikuku shia. And I catch and say, we, ya mama, some country government, they say, untia is kafufu. Taxpayers' money, what more approving the tune of 8.6 billion. With the reason say these customers some year investment, they are indigenous Ghanaians, most of them, and year genuine investment because it was regulated by state institution. And it's young for taxpayers' money way and go to your kana and go crafone merwafone ayarefo musike gu am de bom brarom hontom. That was in 2020 mid-year budget and 2021 main budget. Sika the market of reality we 2 years down the line, or the financial cleanup exercise was spending a year 25 billion or the year cleaning up. Now 25 billion, so little over 17 million. Echo institutions are now falling under Bank of Ghana. That's the main banks, the savings and loans, the microfinances, and a special deposit intake institutions. 17 million over Ekomo. Anna Nkutabuori says emu 8 billion plus 8.6 no about Gold Coast Fund Management customers for. But this money is 8.6 billion no supposed to about fund management customers for 8.6 billion and say customer bia or belong to the 47 fund management companies are falling under Securities and Exchange Commission because of the financial cleanup exercise no and can say 8 billion 8 million in full. That's 600 million excess na egusono and yeah ebia for administrative works near the idea ebia some high for no more year validation no more fine kind of after a dispenses can move 3.1 billion in the 2020 elections no on this basis can be
I see
and yasako parliament yako impenifo say mo and a mujina name approve Ghana's kawi sa mo family tweka ya bam menim empre mienu we come prensa say sika na kwa ne so de abre ensan kan mo say mo nka ho hwe nti ehwo no in fact sibia ye ka asem no na se ye ya kama na twitwi honorable speaker kakra mo fa nche me nti e ma na ni bre pa say no e was so otu ho anamo nti honorable speaker ba ya kwankyere kwan ya fa so e be ma parliament etumi asom ana ye ne honorable Ayarga ko din komo say according to standing orders, no says want to be petition parliament directly as individual. I just say petition through a certain MP. And yet the father so now that Roma also not on petition MI because near who's on Wankasa Odin can edit you may be similar. We sue even the finance minister, our Bank of Ghana, on 2 cases. One ASR Stability Fund 15 billion now. Finance minister said or the or create now the above struggling financial institutions no our bra without recourse to parliament won't produce laws embark that fund no into was sued that and also petition parliament on the engineer the court the now so next say on one case no problem with these financial malfeasance also within the terrain of the finance minister, so he was happy to have an issue and the court less than 2 weeks ni papa no yes Enra obe raise issue no na Enra or tries to raise issue no on the floor of parliament but the majority leadership objective.
Why?
I don't know when to say no objective
honorable why
with a reason say now with a reason say they need time to go through the document or they haven't gotten time. But according to Honorable Ayarga, say there is no standing order in Parliament that gives them that opportunity. Say they should have the luxury of time to go through a motion of petitioner or person or making at the floor of Parliament. But with the knowledge of the speaker, he allows it. Say okay, fine. If they need time, let's give them time. And you know, I don't pay me on about Ayarga share meeting now or 2 coin, but we share our airport meeting for about 2 hours.
I see.
Ansah na or for the flight. Now I sure say okay what parliament. Any coin say oba, but because of Saturday wins, you know, Friday, obesamba. Now Monday we're making sure say obe table sa motion no. Na your table motion we are the ebetumi asini say honorable speaker ebe set committee. Na committee de djuma mbe ne say ombe frɛ yewura kanofriata na waba be kyerɛ sika no so was spending a mo nkyerɛ kwan of us was spending ye ɛno yɛ ade ba ko na yɛ ne petition ne tia wa sɛ ɔmo enhyɛ no na sika no ɔmfentua Gold Coast Fund Management for ka enmanim ya unim sɛ ɔmo nya information sɛ saa de we ba be kɔso nti odi America bo Gold Coast for din wo budget ne mu
yes
ɔmo hwɛ page 150
yeah
paragraph 150, paragraph 150. That's page 32 and 33. Gold Coast for the room. Now, as I'm not kind, no, I can't troca, and no jahokoye. But my boy, Honorable Ayarga Abaso, no, my boy, minority caucus, no, Abaso leadership, almost because to young Gold Coast Fund Management here, Sankamu, more than no 2021, they call Yankamu Yansa, and Kasemu Yaki Yahu Pumasibre. na anamo no mo tunu kra no eye ye de ne nim se ede ayamhyehyɛ bi ebeto eye kanofuriata ne nkɔ force na baby am afiska ne bia but kwamna ade ba ko ha men se on we eye kro no sem mente Ghana for asese Ghana for ye so quiet ye feel say saade we a Gold Coast fund manage for problem say taxpayers abana ba be di bone odinyansa kwan se be hwia Ghana for sika ya man kwan ma na hwie sika na hwie because financial cleanup exercise no initial amount ba out and ke betumi di atua and I say a can work financial sector no was 9 billion according to forensic auditor supervised by Kenoforiata Nankasa.
Yeah,
it was 9 billion. Ya tell mo na wie scanning na area samba be catch say e ka 9 billion no anka boko tua anka betumi sustain the jobs over 10,000 jobs of sub banking sector anka betumi sustain anka e betumi so anka sa 9 billion ye di shemu no anka ye betumi regain the back because ye betumi appointed these institutions financial institutions into a new administration supervised by the government administration or appointing to no naka with time omu ye adwuma ya recover sa 9 billion no manya ne sa megu adwuma no migu ni wie no adwuma na migu no adwuma kwa hodo no ma set am fire me account for it masanso misi ma spend a 29 billion 25 billion but the cleaning up nkofo nsan ka musika na wa start kwa gina parliament house on nsan man 4 billion now where the me gina ha come say ade we say minority former can no approve we see them as accomplice with these financial malfeasance a Kenoforiata ye no I will know say
because old one they should account for it.
Yes, because there is a bribe and because muchibuchafa because I see our minority MPs say they are not that stupid. That's how I see them. Unless they have their fair share. Because why say my terms got 8.6 billion amount say Jeko koma Bobie Ansah. Bobie aba be catch him say me sanka de ma ona bo ne koye. Na my science what temps ka from on abo se fakọ na Bobie se scanam din kan de so ma wono na nsanka je koma no
Inye Jesu kan say
jimie say
say jo was inye Jesu kan amako say enwie say 7
jimie say ani ti no memom de madwiri mu nyina no me suspect say members of parliament o man dealing with this issue na so say approve sika fufuro bia say on family to car it means that they took their fair share. But me yindi yes munya me fe ona bu nya wo dia na e we no
adama
I mean I wasn't
oni agrosa
oni agrosa de obi ehunu asem ne ka ho na bi se kwabra yes infantofo se bi ba ko pe de ko di fine and from na infantofo what we can say won ka ho but me can say minority caucus because you say majority caucus there saade we omuntu hu anamon because some case yentu MP kura na from kwehye dem yentu finance minister say from kwehye dem ba omobo mesa ka say mamu mi yentu no na mo minority for us way
okay
okay brem honorable
this is the first budget after sikana I'm saying no abishia ma wabo say sika wo supen. This is the first budget all this am fund management asem na bishim say he need this money
after the approval no?
Yes, after the approval say
2021 no?
So almost ya tua some almost can dey or say or report to say we tua 25 billion.
Yes.
Now the first year make ho ne say or say we tua no na wasande ase we mu no be rest assured say we will look into it but it's very good say when raise the issue at this stage. At this very stage, I think the FA budget no. You see honor admissibility of questions, petitions, bibiano, in the bosom of the speaker.
Yes.
Say speaker admit petitioner. Obia ni obeti me stop petition no. Yeah. Enti enye send your odwin say majority for na insist say omo map yenye petition no. Enye sa na tie.
But we have the reason, the any problem.
The reason they say petitioner na mo dia fa no so no. He must read the introduction of the petition. Ewo floor of parliament. And you can see admit petition. No, also kind the introduction of the petition there. No introduce petition no chirimu. But enora na oba chamber be raise this issue no. Na speaker no adi kan boss say ye be raise
Okay.
We were adjourning.
Okay.
And the majority no ran behind the initial statement. Speaker no make it say yeah adjourning no can say. Say speaker say adjourning there. I feel now they are getting to be aware of the petition.
Okay.
As majority leadership, they are not aware. It is not to accept or not. After the acceptability is the speaker. And to be rest assured, say, I know say the petition will be read in the chamber. And then, ye chefa no, minya, ye bre papa. I can speak for all the members. I mean, the back benches, the middle benches, and then the minority. I can speak for everybody in parliament. But when it comes to brepa as members of parliament, intimity so be say, as you be the bag be grab and home maybe. Yeah, they young who know, young who know, as an individual man who be had.
More who bag no, more who dear crown, more who dear womb. In
fact, even what is due us, Minia, even what is due us, even project that they have to give, say, this is the common fund.
Constituency.
This is the common fund. Common fund is paid based on revenue.
Yeah.
It is strange to me that in 2 quarters we will get the same revenue. It is strange to me in 2 different quarters, but they pay you a common fund say 74,000. Say 1 quarter 74,000, and 2 quarter. It's not money for me. Oh, it's the money that is going to the MP's account in the District Assembly, and even what is due us legally, we are being denied. How do you expect say they will bring anything that is illegal to us? For some of us, we believe say when we share, it is more important to share than to be shared to. Until when we take power, when John Mahama take power, it is better than to be given crumbles.
Yes, it's true.
It's not all that glitter that is good. Be rest assured. I know we will look through.
What had the episode of the Thai Honorable Ayargechi?
Of course, all the affair, baby. He has the legal background, he has the economic background, yes. And I think things will to work. When it comes to the because petitions, it's petition to the house,
yeah.
So it will eventually come to decision making.
Oh, now before
it doesn't matter when it comes to
all right, so that's it. Mekwaba, Baba Bedi, Dr. Baumia, John Mahama, 24-hour economy, and home komo. John Dr. Baumia. John Dr. Baumia. Me bacho CMG scratcher there. Amount for echa na omo edisuso. We say what me na what me nka ma menka eye wango energy drink once mention. Wango I ka wango energy drink. We hia hoden, we hia pomden. So ho. We hia energy. Eya wo de ebe ya dwuma during the day. Also to be ausori anas wa bre. We ya dwuma kakra bia wa bre. So sometimes you see say you are battling a brebi e woni paduanum je wango energy drink ai nanumbi wasi aboa e matumi gira ho so drivers artisans amafo moye athletics moye adwumaden ahodo biara wono wango no agira wonan so no aye adwuma pa ai pacho say wango be see for man mature there you me pacho osmin ka cho man for say ekura vitamin B3 B5 B6 B12 wa packing ile papa na FDA so agiatum afei yankai eye adwumakuo kase a ye from Tabia Heba Center omde Tabia Misha Heba Misha aba na entidi yade ha omanfo pa awontutuo so ha omanfo na se ufa Tabia Heba Misha no kum yare esuro no wanumu atoa na atiwen afei wose Tabia Heba capsules no ye pa obapin for fansanka unifishe ni wotwe so fansanka so my move pharmacy any herbal shops or can she be bi from 0243 686861 on sabet me aka womo na quick credit say men kan kire Ghana for so omuguso bosia no omo ma na bosia omo de ema no omo de ema se be ye onipa ubetumi anya adwuma na so waye bie omo se yen hwe se eba ebi a startup loan, emergency loan, salary loan, working capital loan, existing business loan, ni nyina obema bi. Ai, quick credit no. Once or how much imagine so. Ni aka say I much no mbeju musika. There be. NNC wonu so yaka krabi from 05969208333. Oposi ni adro in boost aba mesha. And one semini oposi ni adro in boost heba mesha. I was a boost to immune system no. Na ba on by free yarwa ahodo basa ho. Na u boost to immune system no. Na yarwa akoye ntenka so entimi uda ebepem no awai no da form chirikra. Ai in boost heba mesha police ni adro no papa Dankes People's Junction Nanabuachi Eba Okanshi Tema Ekus Pharmacy with Dama Pharmacy Assignment Kens Walk Heba Okanshi Tinated Heba Ubenyebi na odi efriho afei St Andrews for so wamwa bio school SHS1 wamo je nkoda wawie anaso obabi awie eye JHS okọ SHS1 opese osua nwoma se bia general arts, business, home economics, agric science, general science, ne visual arts. Ni nyina St Andrews JHS, SHS, wamo J enkoda, wamo wie JHS, wamo ba. And after so from 2 ni from 3 crampuno. Quite dem. Ha, open so you ba every baby didn't ba quite dem. Also from 0546 048 332. Me bosso 0546 048 332 live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. Me akwaba me ba ye be dim komo Dr. John Bobie anasa John Dr. Bobie akwa no abre
Ghana for media sem dabremo sisi ade wo si dan ya any coin so over hokra esanse Alu Africa we got you covered. Alu Africa aye dwumako kese a eba ne nkyɛnse papa edi kru da so any trusses a Ghana ha any wiase afa na nyina yen ye lidie yen ane topo Alu Africa ewa abakwasam adimu eba no roofing sheet any trusses say ye papa nko ade a eye honom ena obenya pa ye quality sanso ya affordable bedroom frishie aduonu nie edan ya buru 2 million ena Alu Africa ekru so. What news? Yen chance ye di crew dance no. Ni amani dimu ne se emuodu. Ne bani diswo ni diswo. Fiti 0.35 mm. Eko si 0.5 mm. 0.35. Eko si 0.5. Alu Africa Trust so. Emuodu. Na range fi 0.55. Eko si 1.15. Enti enya fe na wudi dua kokru wudaso a very nache. Amfotie berie. Alu Africa Trust no. Amfotie ntimere. Ere nache. Eye good for all weather conditions. Ne buaso da for mwankasa. So beto dua pa de enkato Alu Africa Trust. Na bokwa ye bretu no ho ban. Alu Africa products ni nyina so ye ma 40 years warranty. Emfrishie duanan warranty. Hwehwe Alu Africa. E was Spinters kwan no so. Ye ne MTN office no. Ana di nhwani mu. Ana say frɛ 0574 286292. Se wudu takra de so a ye branch ni bi wo ho. Frɛ ye 0545 446852. Na edumeku bia. Wa pese wa beto Alu Africa kwal ni bi no. Wobetimi walk in to your branch bia. Ye beton dia ma wo mo. Na wode akodi dwumadie bia. Alu Africa, building made a sighten.
Usika seme nkoyi ana. Quick credit siasia se sika pe ennafom. Inti na yaba se ye becheche wo yam bosia bonhye ye ho. Wutumi babosia edifi aso ye fee 1500 Ghana cedis edeko. Na nia wo hia ne wo national ID card. Wo hia se wo betu susu. Wo hia awowa ye ngiseke bia nto ho. Wo nsanso hia se wo ne ye bebue futuo bia. quick credits ɛwɔ hɔ ma o. Sɛ yɛ edwa na wopɛ sɛ wodi, anaa wopɛ sɛ wohyɛ edwuma foforɔ ase, anaa sɛ yɛ school fees, anaa po eyeye. Bosome edwumayɛfoɔ nso yɛwɔ bi ma mo. Na mmom kae sɛ yɛmmɔ bosua ɛwɔ internet so. Afei nso ɔmante kakra bi abatan Bank of Ghana nsa wɔ dwumadie yi mu. Enti tutumri kana frɛ yɛn wɔ 0302-200-390 anaa 0596-920-833. Quick credits, lending made simple. I said dwumadie yi nhyehyɛeɛ kakra wɔ ho.
Na asomafo nyuma no se Mafia. Hey, nade. Wobi nam ne baby so na wohwe ne ha se de ase de sen.
Na hwan ne obi no a wo ka no kwakofo.
Kwakofo ben. Yente ma kwakofo no wa chia se bicycle a wo so ne ma wontimi no. Mo se ne na ye no.
Hwe, ebe na kakra ni na mihia oni abu a na wo te so. Se won sisi ye won ya. Na bu mpo de no se koko so ha no ka ho. Enti ontumi nya adwuma bia na nsen. Na me ka se onko ba me odobo herbal center. Eni se abu hu ato no a onanam ne baby no.
Hey, ma me odobo herbal center de. Oya ade o.
Hey, me say ye koko sisi yade low sperm count oba na so be ma won wo afichiri kromu ha wo ne ade gise wanko
diabetes ne mpamu mreye eni koko na menim se oteso na menim se sisi yade eni afichikon ha nso otumisa
etinyigifo mpo age ma me odobo herbal center tum
kana shi ma me abena odobo herbal center ebe pro credit bank no edan ya ni salon ewo mu no
ena shama nso wo TMA office pomu ha official town road
frɛ 0244-284-728
ana 055 ana 0509-043-539
Mami odobo herbal center na
agise wanko.
Hey, say the Makohu Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic no. Me ho kra dweme. Say enu nti no manya award wa. Eye world best. Obia transe ema dompem yade. Ka say anase mbo yade enkane to dem bio.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Asa nyarwan te say ne ekuro etu no. Ne enka ewo nanum. Oba na be mo pa wo. Ene enyarwan kaye.
Nansi ma me ka say ene spinal cord ho ekaye no. Greenfield adaromenti ene wasa so de gina na so ebiem.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Ewo ultra modern laboratory and a diagnostic machine sir. Ashushe di pedie ni mwankasa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Ewa nungwa dogon Estate Junction last stop. Frewa 0243-983-906 and 0261-651-898.
Greenfield.
God is our healer.
Greenfield.
Your last stop.
I believe. CMGC Kachadio. Yeah! Here say, Ubebo star 413 house. Ewa MTN peso. Amunumu na wansaka watadie. Aye CMG Sikachadia promotion. Yeah, afi yesu ye bedidio. So peso wenya CMG Sikachadia bia. And ye kwai we na befaso. Step 1, but star 413 hash. Ewa MTN so. Step 2, choose Accra FM. Na wedie, the prompt nechi. Esua wusuwa sikamu yina. Ebe kone ye yamau. Sikachadia promotion. Aye cash in and win big promotion. When you idea what's our year, win your share of 24,000 bonanza. Shanuswo, Dudu Bia won't taxi, and you cost star 413 hasado, and never more when you say, Umedinkunim, our CNG Sikachadia promotion so. A year cashback from Class Media Group. Kaihuna say, Sa Jumedia Way, and she shared the home, the National Lottery Authority, our Caritas Lottery Platform, and a boy chidom. Unyam Fisher don't watch airqua, one Kajumedia home. CNG Sikachadio! Yeah!
Get ready to immerse yourself in a tale of bravery and resilience. Journey into the heart of the Kwaman Kingdom, where Nana Akoto, a young prince, is captured and sent to the formidable Dintra Empire as a slave. Nana Akoto faces a fate that threatens to erase his identity, but his spirit remains unbroken. In a quest to rediscover his true self, Nana Akoto must navigate a path full of trials. Will the power of Dintra keep him as a slave, or can he fight to reclaim his heritage and restore honor to the Kwaman Kingdom? Don't miss Nana Akoto, showing Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. exclusively on Aquaba Magic, DSTV channel 150 and GoTV channel 102. Dial *759# to reconnect or stay connected to DSTV and GoTV.
koda emma no se den kwa tabia takum wedi emma yeduro no emma yenya ahoden ene ahoden ye aye memma duro enu ti na banma bi ahia bi no etufo ane atofo ene obi opede du etu aton bia enko chemical shops pharmaceuticals ene herbal shops bia e Ghana hanu be bia anase frame e 0243 686861 and 0245 749206 Sankatwe FDA Fajatu Kaise Tabia Takum ye Bembe bia ye Takum not recommended for lactating mothers, pregnant women and children under 15.
Basam sunyi ma batan bra kwa
na wana no rejijiu ye
enya hwana wo hwe school samsam dua wo safi ahwana wo fi JHS roko SHS1 wo betne fia char papa
oh iyantra ti asam dawi St Andrews SHS for say sabo from the results mbampa akwenya wo de wo befa wo be wo start SHS1 da waiting result na yanyi that index number baba e chi results no ba na za ba kire ho ma wo be yintina fie
aha private school
Anye St Andrews SHS or your grade A private school and you be able to school and you go school or what akwenya so ho mbo from a open wo be SHS2 onye SHS3 na safi no be SHS1 na the results mbe impa wo be gye na see one boarding house ho a oya kono de teachers no so force mo from em wo suadinti wo pass wasi no easy epede wo be general arts business economics agri general science visual art so be St Andrews Henman campus no asking for su Wakra Hadzi you will test it triple last door 0244 696911 St Andrews SHS we are always in the lead.
Hey. When we send your police in your draw, Imbusaba Mesa Amama Huaden.
Refuse to grow, and young offense swabek.
And what day immune system or Yankopon, and you're ready for Yadmusa Maya Hubano, and Nasa Wunum Imbusaba Mesa, a Peja immune system Nabribia. Ya Yarientimu. Sasa dear, a man for the one, the Imbusaba Mesa, Dronua dance yes, and Yarwa who ran Nipa and Yina etimi banaso, and in Yarwa Cassian Kaya Wutini D and a honka. No, Yamwa suing Yanano, a way a home buying every home. And now Pa, Omu Yarwana Dada, no monum doctor and Rono, and num Imbusaba Mesanoa, and Momo who are deep in tea. Ya Omuntim Pose, Yaria Esomo, Imbusaba Mesa, a walk Kansi, and you may move Bia Yato in row, at to 0246 208496. FDA, Ashisha said, Jedian Cratch, Magia to Musay.
CMGC Cartadio! Near here, say, Ubeba star 413 house, our MTN peso. I want to move on. No one's that come what's a dear. I CMGC Cartadio promotion. Yeah, I feel yes, you better do. Some person when you CMGC Cartadio beer, and you're quite well now, Befaso. Step 1, but star 413 hash, our MTN so. Step 2, choose a cry FM. Now, what dear, the prompt in it. And so I will show us coming in now. Ever corner ye yamau. Sikata dear promotion. And ye cash in and win big promotion. When you are dear, what's our year? Win your share of 24,000 bonanza. Shannon Swo, do be our taxi. And you cost star 413 hash and never more when you say, Kunim, our CNG Sikata dear promotion or so. And your cash bag from Class Media Group. I want to say, Sa Jumedia Way. And she shared the home, the National Lottery Authority, our Caritas Lottery Platform. And when you fish out doing what she airqua, one card you made you home. CMGC card
Waba Tele Accra FM. Yeah, mommy.
All right, okay, so that's a live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. We are back here. And I see Kwabena FM in Elmina. And I feel so various stations are more picking live. Yeah, Damunina say. Na quick one, young Concotier a year. Dr. Baumia, the response to John Mahama 24-hour economy proposal our day Abba. Yangonkotie a year Dr. Baumia, then Yebeti a year Ora John Mahama. Or the same matter. Any other issues we are Baumia Aquaco Rezi Ewana Proba Obo Meka also still in the studio. We have Honorable Adama Sulemana, MP for Time Constituency, Chairman Bernard Muna, former PNC chairman, convener for Arise Ghana, and a chief. Ose. Yeah. Hey, Ube in every Arise Ghana, Maza. Oh, short here. We were. David. And,
so, what is this 24-hour economy that you want to bring? It is purely an issue for any business. If you feel you will make money opening 24 hours, there is no law preventing you from opening. But this is one idea that John Mahama thinks he has brought. It is a bad idea. It is an idea that has not been thought through. It is a bad idea. And so I want you to compare me and John Mahama. Who has the ideas to transform this economy? Who has the ideas? Who has the ideas? Yes. The track record of John Mahama doesn't show innovative thinking. It doesn't show ideas. The track record of Dr. Baumia is idea after idea after idea after idea after idea. That is the difference. So what is this 24-hour economy that you want to bring? It is purely an issue for any business. If you feel you will make money opening 24 hours, there is no law preventing you from opening. But this is one idea that John Mahama thinks he has brought. It is a bad idea. It is an idea that has not been thought through. It is a bad idea. And so I want you to compare me and John Mahama. Who has the ideas to transform?
No, but we see me monitor. So this is Dr. Baumia for you. But what triggered this response from the sitting vice president and now the flag bearer for MPP? What triggered it? Young Koti Ejo Mama, the policy on the 24-hour. Young Koti no. All right. So paparazzi Yao says Baumia will get heart attack. Just look at the way he's screaming from his heart. Anyway, munya nyiye. Anyway. All right. So young penfona your time no call. We cannot spend much time. Honorable, straight. Yam now. So Baumia's response to a GM.
Okay, you didn't kind of said test no test your last no.
Yeah.
Some more kind no. And I'm person me can be. And then I also.
Put your microphone kakra.
And then I also Dr. Baumia nchen. Because the way I say ani brene akoma hode kasa no. It doesn't look this one a presidential voice ni and a presidential posture ni. The way I kasa an idea. So I'm a president kasa. I mean, I'm surprised. I say, when you be on no contokwa, Yenya nuru ho.
Oh, bread do.
Yenya nuru ho. I don't know what brand ho di mirikasa. Ma who's on or the firm baby. I don't know what brand was that. Media. Or see. John Mama ni innovative idea na Dr. Baumia na wo idea.
Enso ankabi.
Enti eno ne dia hen. Idea no. Eno ne dia hen.
Building toilets.
Eno ne dia hen. Media sa Dr. Baumia onimu a 24-hour economy no. O say choba. Eni say wa wo adwuma. O pese o bie na wo ye no 24 hours a. O pese 24 hours o betima ye. It doesn't need any policy. Hey. It doesn't need any policy. There is a policy, papa. Okay? It will implications for all the sectors. Implication for security. implication for job creation, implication for productivity. Enti aban hwan na obeka say wo ade a ebe increase productivity, o ade a ebe increase security, ebe ma security no ebe a personal ebe hia na akosoro. Ade nti aban ba parliament ye pass mrama no wi a oba parliament se mba beje another legislation, me beje legislative instrument regulation ede afa samra no. Enti Dr. Bawumia doesn't know, but me ka ba ko pe e na che Dr. Bawumia ne MPC no ene na aban no they have deserted him. So
meaning what?
Onimu a debate na ekoso parliament no ontie bi MP bia sorry a omo se budget no enye Bawumia budget eye Kufuado budget ena wie ya opa ko parliament no side
cheche mu ye e dey na person oka
ne mpese meka ne se ye nim se na Kufuado ebeje akonwa no oso ono de onim economy no ho amamuo onim economy asem nenti wako Bank of Ghana wako Bank of Ghana akofa abrantie bia onim amamuo pa onim economy e de no be the vice president na oba exchange rate ebe ye fe
yeah
ye ka ya buru bebre no ebetwa oba ebe move economy no from taxation to production. Ajuma be bu omanum. In fact ye de omo to aso ebe duru ba bi no kra no ye be kwa akofa nkrofo afiri ba bi no mo be ye aduma oman we. Sa na o ka kire yen. Endi enim se na Kufuado de onim economy no hwe o. Onim ne afa inflation because ono nya third class or economics. Onim ne afa no anything. Na ne be kosu bia no Dr. Bawumia. In fact from 2017 I was starting say reap the benefit of the NDC your mama year in 2015-2016. Almost started say out to the hono. Or say one can say President Kufuado or say solid economic management team. Dr. Bafuakoto, Afri Akoto, Bobie ani and on the head of the management team. Enti at the partner course 2017-2018 in Iowa. And that dear at the Bonia air cosono, almost say, and you Dr. Bawumia, na ya man of quine. In fact, me person me go to you attach ya. And then on the floor of parliament. During the debate, you know. Or say budget, you know, it is presented on behalf of His Excellency Nana Kufuado, not presented on behalf of Dr. Bawumia. And Tiama Dr. Bawumia quine, no oba the future or your future. Enti never get when you won't be a the money be and say Bawumia. Enti they don't even trust him because people way saying kaya the almost about 3 days in ni. Almost say Bawumia na de buy and Bawumia. They don't even trust him. Enti ni onama or to ayampia Mahama no to ayampia no. At least Mahama say oba obnoxious licensing examination no obetwam. Wa ka kire obono for say oba obema omo cashew factory. Onye 3 crop development authority obema Ghana for cashew development board na ebeye cashew se na yeye cocoa no na oba nso a obema yen 24-hour economy in 3 regions okoye no amayen at least 4 clear policies straight Dr. Bawumia policy wa hin enti idea no e wo hin idea the policy no
idea and
the policy no one district one factory na omo di sika ni nyina ye waivers no mo twen 600 million every IMF ho bra parliament behwe sika e da ho so ye ma waivers no 484 million dollars waivers omo pe e de ama omo nkrofo no me wan so twen 600 million free IMF ho. This is pure incompetence. Omunim ni omoye. Omu disika no. Enti ya Dr. Bawumia say onka ne de ma yentie. Ni ono ba obetima ya ma o ma we no. Onka me yentie.
Obo in according to so far what can be. I've heard him talking about.
Do you know what can? Ogman we nkoa na obi abedi vice president head of the economic management team for 7 years wabubu oman na o say aka kire wo say ma me kwana me president na me bibi ma na ne owo no ade na 7 years no wanye Only we can dear no country. Dear Pan Doctor me over country. Only we can. Or see the guitar no dear no him for the guitar. It's young fat the guitar infrastructure and see why. In fact, Omampenda that John Dramani Mahama added the largest number of fiber optics and a kind of fiber optics infrastructure. Only see Accra the guitar center. Where would the digital issues be? Senka John Mama Niwa. In fact, who brought liberalization of the communication sector? As far back as 1995, 1998, and now you're deputy communication minister and some of minister for communication. On the liberalizing airwaves and then not here yet me ever phone ekasa. No one can say on the digital issues by ya. Wow, what you want? Some say probably as o si oforia tabu afa so. O ne obeka bi aye mfa no. One mfa me eh. Etiminia ni onya an idea yemfa di president nye voice when he the president and your voice I say bibi share minimum the president.
Yeah, the voice
we want presidential voice because he is going to UN to go and represent us. On timi nko gina nko kasa to say
your call idea
the minister will be the president. And let's sound this caution to Dr. Baumia. In 2016 and in 2020 Odidi President John Dramani Mahama attempt with nobody saying anything to him. Afidie so free say ye de behia no. John Mahama nam no okasa policy no nko asem na oka. Opa onka ni policy. Na mo okasa onka policy. Na obetwetwe
obejimijimi no
ho. Obeye ni opeso oye na. Say Malam John. And now see Efra John. Won so say John Mahama konkramufo program asenti no. Opeso tuba onka no tuba. Until friend Malam John. I've never seen that before anywhere. Say a vice president meeting a former president in a public event. Now who are the advisors of Dr. Omia as far as public manners are concerned? One advisor no. On him say he has an ethic to provide to protect say also in public manners and ideas and who told him that Sana president behave?
Yeah, what triggered this response from Dr. Baumia? So then,
during COVID, we recommended that at times where workers lose their jobs and are unemployed, it should be possible for there to be a scheme where part of their social security savings is paid to them as allowances until they can find another job. And we suggested it, but it fell on deaf ears. Don't sing again, I beg you. We intend to implement a 24-hour economy. And by this, we will provide incentives in terms of reduction in corporate taxes and other exemptions to businesses that will sign up to the 24-hour economy initiative. And if we remember, in the past, but then we must also look at the security side and make sure that we provide them with security. Because if you remember, in the past, filling stations used to work 24 hours. Unfortunately, armed robbers started attacking them, and because of that, they all closed at about 10 o'clock. And so if we're able to provide them with adequate security, businesses and services like that, there's no reason why they can't operate 24 hours. And we'll give them the tax incentives to be able to do so. We'll identify and promote strategic growth areas. During COVID, we recommended that at times where workers lose their jobs and are unemployed, it should be possible for there to be a scheme where part of their social security savings is paid to them as allowances until they can find another job. And we suggested it, but it fell on deaf ears.
This is JM for you. Reactions from Dr. Baumia.
Bobie, Mekai Sena President Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. Oba beka say Oba beye one village, one dam.
Yeah.
And a policy that Kwame Nkrumah even brought. And sana yede be share your constitution mo, and mo amu constitution mo betimi akan article 25 ABC. Na mark article 38 under the directive principles of state policy. Mo share education from basic level must be made free. Sana kan secondary education must be made affordable, and a tertiary education must be made progressively free. Sana ekaye. Now, Article 38 of the Constitution now. Say 2 years after the coming into force of the Constitution, Parliament must cause the executive to bring a comprehensive program for the realization of that. How many years in here? So when I'm taking on Parliament, I have a reason. Has Parliament caused the executive to bring a comprehensive program for the realization of the free education and the progressive freeness of education at the tertiary level? Parliament nankasa anye nejuma. So as we speak, 2 years after the coming into force of the 1992 Constitution came into force on 7th January 1993. Into 2 years would have been 7th January 1995. Up to date, no comprehensive policy on education has been tabled by the executive to Parliament for Parliament to see to the realization of that enjoyment. You can read the articles, Bobie. So evidently, now say President Akufo-Addo ate me because he's going to bring free education. Now it is all of a sudden an idea that started with Kwame Nkrumah. Bobie say most of the secondary schools in the north are now 50, 60 years old. It tells you the time of their arrival. Because Ghana achieved independence without secondary schools up north. The oldest secondary school was in Tamale. Inti nipa to say Alhaji Mama Idrisu Munu, they walked from Upper West Wa to attend secondary school in Tamale. So secondary education under colonial administration was a no. Kwame Nkrumah expanded education and made it free. So it couldn't have been an idea of Akufo-Addo. But yet then Akufo-Addo has appropriated and arrogated himself that secondary education and its freeness, no they buy. And to say, oh, be sorry, I know see free SHS, Akufo-Addo no they buy. But let's grant him that. Free SHS na yekano. Meme bawo SHS. Do you know what we pay for your child to go to school? PTA, Mosi Mayentuya, Okodu School, Nanyama Koye, we are forced to pay money. But Oba say 1 village, 1 dam. Your mama Beka say it's not possible to 1 village, 1 dam. The response of Akufo-Addo at the time is that, Una won't mean your, yes, ye babe yo, and unto me you are my near yo. That was the response of Akufo-Addo. That I say I'm coming to do it. You are in power. You are supposed to be doing it. You are not doing it. Baumia, your mama says that he's coming to bring a 24-hour economy. O say your mama onti me ye. Now, Oka say a bad idea no. Echi. Or say the 24-hour economy is already in place. How can something that is in place under your watch be bad? You are admitting that the thing is operational. Until omo amoton fufuo, omo amoton was circle. Omo nyina ye 24-hour economy.
So funny.
Oti ho obetimi asend you mobile money at any time. It is a 24-hour economy. So that idea is already operational. And if it's bad, why are you not scrapping it? So you see, you cannot reconcile what my brother Baumia is saying with what my other brother John Mama has said. In fact, you cannot reconcile Baumia and Ankasani's statement. You understand? You cannot. Because Upabe reconciling his statement now, then there is contradiction. Because the thing is bad. And at the same time, you are implementing it, so it's not a new idea. Minya, John Mama, and yeah, then no 24-hour economy. No. It is about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And Oshia, the Trades Union Congress.
Yeah.
What do you say? And Oka say, as part of the policies, not the 8 different policies at the TUC. And Oka say, one of them is the 24-hour economy. A bit to me. Not 24-hour economy. Massa. The TUC clapped.
They were happy.
Onim said, in most instances, we lose about 12 or 14 hours. Onim sir. But 24 hours, it means that Osha 6 anopa by 4 to 5. No way. Some other person will take off. In the middle of the night, no way. Then another person will take. So 3 people will be employed. 8 hours routine. And because it is that way, you will see that everybody come with new energy. Oko DVLA. And when you are using state public transport, more than 1 drivers. Once a private transport, more than 1 driver.
No.
But the state transport have more than 1 drivers. In Tikano Eko Wano, na bako Eda. Omukodru Kumasi, anata chimai. Na there is a swap. Na bako no so akope baby ada no. So that there will not be fatigue. That is to tell you that, look, time immemorial, people have started realizing that 24-hour economy. Go to the passport. Only passport secretariat.
I better say the ocean movie no.
Madam Fo. Oyebono East, regional chairman of the PNC. Bau George Inusa. See, in 2014, he applied for passport, and in 3 weeks, he got his passport. In 2023, June mu and apply for passport. As we speak, we are in November, they cannot get the passport. And there are many stories of Nipa Omaye online application. Omunya omu passports. They have not even gotten an appointment date. My passport, so you apply. These days, biometrics cramponu ubetimi afan wo phone so. But you still have to go to the passport office for them to do facial Ansah na omu for biometrics. You have not decentralized the passport office. Enti uko passport office. Now, on the day that somebody has an appointment, do you know that people go there at 3 a.m. sometimes? 2
Just
a.m.
to queue.
No, Marcos sunlight. Because you shall see 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock, yapong. But if enka at the passport office, 5 o'clock na nipa be airport no, now another batch has come, and they take over, and they also have to work because the system is inputted. Now omaye capture no. Do you know how many people will get their passports probably in less than a week? Do you know what that means? Do you see? Not just the revenue. Because okay, revenue no asema. Do you know the cost saving it will do? Do you know the cost saving? Because nipa dudua etimi sorry. Omo jai omo ma nkora. Omo ejuma. Then they come. Look, we have officers in the security agencies who will leave their security jobs and come and be at the passport office from morning to morning, seeking their passport. If it's 24 hours, they will get it. This badge goes. But not just that. Unawoti dex you so. It is not your dex forever. Until Ukono, you know that you don't have to do some things wrong because the next person that is coming will expose you. But Bobie, mena ona oye host. Into 24 hours you are the host. Oh sorry kwa just say achina. But unim say oh sorry kono obi ba betina or so you know that you cannot engage in some dubious things. Because Okoji Obisika as a guru man. That's a nipa no bana uniwa. They will suppose say anyamona moji misika no. So it will even go a longer way because you understand people are changed. And once people are changed, you know, that is what is going to improve. That look, some of these things that we talk about a bit me a reducing. And so the TUC, they are not stupid and dumb. Omubo omunsem eno omujiye eno omuka say we eye adepa a ode eba. So if I hear my brother, the vice president, who is on, by the way, is on a thank you tour, not on a campaign tour. Kodaomo ase na bet nase na dwin na fa wunipa na woni omontena se na mondwin because already no waka say ni akufado eye no enso eni. So you are going to come with your own vision and you are your own man. Naturally say what Akufo-Addo has done, you yourself, you don't have faith and trust in the policy options of President Akufo-Addo. So if you don't have trust in the policies of President Akufo-Addo, how are you claiming credit for the same policies? And ya Akufo-Addo, and all the one village, one dam buyer. Vabon, you are not the one. And you are not the agenda, one buyer. So Sesiano, the things that you say that they are not your vision, you have your own vision, you are even taking credit for it. How can the vice president say that he brought about a national identification authority and a card? These things.
Politics.
You understand? Kufuor Shasiye, Atamils came and continued. John Mama continued. You came. So when you came, the infrastructure and everything was put in place. You only continued. So I'm pleading. Unse I have to plead. Because unse ba omi yeminu apenyi.
Oh, okay.
John Mama yeminu apenyi. I cannot speak. But I'm pleading. Say, oh, minu penyi ba omi. The tone that you are using, the mannerism, talking and saying that your elder brother doesn't have sense, is annoying. Your elder brother near Okaino doesn't make sense. It's annoying. The way we have to respect you as our elder brother, you must respect your elder brother.
But Omiano Ankasano, sorry, I think say he's not coming from a proper home.
Do you understand? You must respect your elder brother to elicit the other younger nordness to respect you.
I think the upbringing is very poor. He is just a foolish guy. Because I'm sorry.
Here, I cannot
anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway.
So evidently, if we have to respect you as our elder brother, you must show reciprocity. Oh, politics is not a gun or a bow and arrow thing. But they pitch, and I fear when I listen to the voice. Well, look, my brother can get a shock because you can see he is hysteric, he is overcharged. Cool, my brother. Calm down.
Live at 100.5 Citizen Show. Mame, Enya, hello.
Hello?
Kai, what for the form?
My funny form. Allah.
Will you? 500.
My child.
A boom.
A boom. My bre.
Oh. And then the Yamia be quiet.
And then the be quiet, mommy.
Yeah, that's it. Congrats. Koswana, a follow CMG sketch a day.
If I show you.
All right. I mean, come on for say I can't grab me a closing machine. No, I start 413 hash. Chaze.
Commander.
Kunumam.
Commander, me das pa. Me mumunga me te ha ko fichu mesidi e. Ba o me ayo bi a me akasa no me feeling no. Both the personality and the ideologies.
On your guy
ma me because it does not pleases me in any way because me who know So why to me the idea papa biaba on board. I say no. O play me who say o bet me play the side attraction role better than the leading role. Say aka ojina park no fa baby na ko to bo eba park no so but
yɛn fa no sɛ nka bi a concert panin no yi a no ɔgyegye ho
saa sɛdeɛ ɔgyegye ho ma na kufu ado ɔmo yusu no ma ɔgyegye ho no na ɔmo aka so ɔmo nim sɛ ɔmo na mo ɔmo nim sɛ wɔde ne bɔ tere yɛ ɔntumi nhyɛ wɔde ne bɔ 5 ɔntumi defend wɔde ne bɔ 6 ɔntumi play midfield so what you say ɔmo nim dada hwɛ akanfo yɛwɔ baby a yɛbu yɛsɛ 7 preduasa sɛ egya ho ebedum a ɛne yɛde hyɛ den ɔbakwasi ansɛm yɛne yɛtire kurase dan kwabena sɛ yɛkɔ afuo mu a anɔpɛ ni di wɔ fie bɛkɔ akɔba mpɛsi wɔ fuo nti egya yɛtu gya na wo akɔla a wɔyɛ smart ne di gya bɛhyɛ osɛm sɛ ebedum a no wapɛ gyimifoɔ bi a ɔyɛ amanko sɛ osum na me nkɔ toilet bra som na me wurawura mu enya me nan mra onim sɛ gya ne dum ɔbɛba na edum ɛsɛ sɛ hyia kwabena ne hyɛ osɛm yɛ na wadum gya sana MPP for de ayɛ baomia sana kufu ado ɔne 7 preduasa na chim mafias de ayɛ baomia ɛnyɛ sɛ MPP for mpɛ ɛyɛ kene Japan asa na chamati eja no aduma wie
yɛ pɛ obi di ahyɛ ne nsɛm
yɛ pɛ 7 preduasa ɔbakwasia yɛ fa hyɛ ne nsɛm and he's so happy with ginger ejina platform so 7 preduasa say ye gina wo kasa o hwe 7 preduasa chima o chem and in the bad mannerism and in the bad gestures all die in the dia he's not a presidential material Ghana for mo hwe agroni enye nuro na say de bedu ho na entasentase be ye no Yamra, the name of our kind of Zucabra, and just by the way, or say the idea of 24-hour economy no a bad idea. Because it is a bad idea. Now, also can say it is already in existence. Or see, if you are a business operator and you feel say operating 24 hours and be putting money in your pocket, there is no law to stop you, you can do it. Then why are the business not operating 24 hours?
Then why is it a bad idea?
Why are the business not operating 24 hours since there's no law to stop them? Because there is no enabling environment created for such businesses to thrive within the night. Because so we say we get a within the night in 24 hours, day and night. There are certain things you have to put in places. For instance, and so making sure say what put it in place say one can you bet me for the 24 hours for the businesses to operate. Apart from say can you international and say we have good lighting community. Sir, young fans are me call shifts and match 4 o'clock. Not say baby I'm me sorry about Kwanwa Baba Faka. Any kwan say esum bia o mantem wo bonifo beba beti tamye dim boni wo then esum ne mu. So there should be proper measures put in place. And adwena masori no say me shift say 2 o'clock and adwena masori a there should be good transport mechanism e wo kwam say mega cars am ready den e de akwa adwuma. Apart from that, I see making sure say yen kan ya ni gina so no ye anadwo say production ye ya enema no be a produce no ye di nsuo and a produce enyuma be see making sure say ye betumi a produce the more quantities of gallons of water than say the produces this year no because ye fan say ye adwuma ye call 8 hours ye call anopa 8 and ye upon you 4 and 5 8 hours so we ye 24 hours I just say be running 8 hours in 3 routines into no ade bia ba be produce bia times 3 and it's en kania hodi na we here times 3 and so make provision for that say ensure na we here times 3 and so make provision for that say security na we here security personnel no in 3 times say the beya ahobambo amanfo endi boni wo sumase So Sanya Mewe na kabom create a good environment, enabling environment. Ansana 24-hour business economy net me dey thrive near your son infrastructure. And it is about me and say there is no law to prevent anybody to do business 24 hours into make me a sorry ya. Then Mesa Kase mean feeling no. So I just say I don't know
what Bobie is telling Ghanaians, any business community, say you are on your own.
I don't know
Or they also better say contractors. I don't have anything to help you. Just create an enabling environment. You are good to go.
Banks bet me a 24 hours. He mentioned them. Banks bet me 24 hours. So banks bet 24 hours. Security measures be not go my banks net 24 hours.
Anyway, my time is up. Charles, I mean, thank you so much. Like that, and Kabini Chavena who hit him, but our time is up. Yeah, brother, I'm so sorry. Top Choco, yeah, don't Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, yeah, don't say. And I say come a Seahorse 50/50 engine coolant. Yeah, don't say and then you may. And I say come Honorable Sulemana, Tyne MP Chairman Mona, and Ora Charles Nyame, Domia Moti and Camp from Dagbon FM Tamale, and I think so Benya FM Elmina, various platforms. The Munina say, your friend will be Ansah Accra News at 6. Enjoy your evening.